Hello and welcome to the podcast. We are the Three Amigos. We're back, baby. All right. We have one dumbass, one smartass, and one average intelligent ass. I'll let you decide which one's which. My name is Adon, aka Murado Runner.
My name is Nick, or Nicholas West in 2001.
My name is Nate, also known as Voltex77, and welcome back to the podcast.
Oh wait,
baby.
guys, I'm getting a notification on my phone. I'm sorry.
Oh, what's up?
I was supposed to silence this. I don't know what. Okay, which one of you fuckers invited a girl?
Wait, what?
What?
Can the Spider Man come out to play?
Ah! Where'd she come from? What the hell? Ah! Okay, alright.
Okay. Calm down. Breathe.
Yes.
Wait,
You gave me a heart attack! Alright. Alright, all jokes aside, we are the Three Amigos, just have our very first special guest. Please welcome Miss Livy, one of mine and Nick's best friends.
Hello.
Alright.
Good to be here.
So, thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. Alright. So, if you couldn't tell by the title of this video already, we will be talking about one of the most anticipated films of 2021, Spidey Man, No Way Home.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this was an awesome movie.
Holy shit, is right.
Before we get started to talking about what our plans are for what we're gonna say and such, let me leave you guys with a quick warning. Yes, this will contain every single spoiler in the film, from every Easter egg, everything we saw. If you guys have not seen the movie yet, I suggest you please click off this video right now and go see this movie before then. But if you don't mind for spoilers, or if you've already seen the movie, please feel free to continue on watching this, because believe us, we're gonna have so much fun talking about this very nostalgic and emotional roller coaster of a ride of a movie.
That
You've
is
been
the
warned.
absolute truth.
You have been warned. Click now.
Click away.
Okay, regardless, since all the unspoiled people have left, let's talk movie. This was awesome!
Hell yeah!
Oh,
I
God.
know.
Oh.
Okay, so, actually, funny story, Voltag went to go watch this movie first,
Yeah.
and then Liv went to see it, without me knowing, because then I contacted her going, hey, I want to go see this movie, can you come with me? So we both went, then right at the start of the movie, she's like, oh yeah, I already seen this movie. What?!
Yeah, I was just like, I was dead ass just like, okay, cards on the table. I've seen this movie already.
and then I decided to pull the same joke with Nick as I invited him, as he wanted to go see the movie, so I was just like, I could go with you.
I can go with you,
Sure.
homie.
Nick, your camera's freezing up a bit.
Oh,
See,
really?
right?
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
You guys hear me still?
we
can
hear
hear
you
you.
loud and clear, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, just pay no attention to the camera. If I have to shut the camera off, don't worry about it.
Okay.
You're back.
He's gonna
You're pretty good.
have
Okay.
to.
Regardless,
We might have to pull a power. We might have to pull a Power Rangers.
We are professionals,
no.
I swear. We're professionals.
we are
I swear.
trained professional idiots, and wait, what? Liv, how did you told me to call you? I'm not calling you the superior ass.
Oh, come on.
No.
Come on. Do it, bitch. I did it.
No. Anyway, okay. Anyways, we've delayed long enough. Let's just talk about this movie. How about we start with what happened first? Holy
Alright.
shit!
So,
First of
I have
all,
so much to say about Quentin Beck and how they're basically talking about misinformation with this guy.
you have
so
something to
much.
say, Liv? Please, the floor is yours.
Quentin, okay, did you guys notice how Quentin Beck was like specifically throwing in little details like these drones, Stark Tech, like before quickly going on, you know? He
Yeah.
was dropping hints, Stark Tech, like he knew Happy was in on it, he knew Peter was in on it, and he edited that footage so it sounded like Peter was saying to kill everybody. And
Pretty much.
I don't know, he's an asshole, of course, and I want to punch him
Oh,
in the
man.
face, but I gotta
mean, he's dead
respect
already.
how he managed that. I gotta respect how he went out. He was like, if I'm going down, I'm gonna take this little bitch with me. You know?
I mean, that's what
Yeah.
Mysterio's power is. It's to create, like, a false illusion.
Exactly.
That is basically his power. It's illusions. And
And plus, isn't it kind of scary though a little bit that like he had this already? which means he knew he was gonna lose. So he was ready for this.
Oh yeah, it was like maybe like a fail-safe or something. Cause like I remember from the end of Far From Home, that one guy who survived was like putting it all in and like uploading it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I want-
Flash drive or something.
That was
Like,
that
it
that
a
was
fail-safe.
scary. And
I know.
it really opens up a discussion. Could that happen in the real world? When you really think about it, because just one long thing of information, you're kind of dead, son.
Yeah.
Kind of fucked.
You're dead.
Anyways, back to the story. Actually, did you know that the opening scene from No Way Home, they actually recreated the same exact set and costumes from the end of Far From Home?
Really?
They entirely recreated that scene, which I think was awesome.
They did well then.
They did really
how-
well. The people behind MJ, they're wearing the same clothes. Peter's in the same position, still about to drop an F-bomb, but a car horn blurs it out. It's
how they had
incredible of how they managed to match that scene up perfectly.
Wait, before
Props
we
to the filmmakers.
Did you
Yeah.
guys, I'm sorry. Did you guys? I keep interrupting you guys. I'm so sorry. But did you
do
guys?
this a lot, okay.
That's how Aunt May at the end of Homecoming said, "What the fuck?"
I know.
Yes, I remember that.
Peter went, "What the fuck?" Before I cut out, I loved that little callback the last time, and I still love it.
That is hilarious.
Before we continue, we have to pull a Ned and Spider Man. Dude!
Dude! Dude! Dude! Dude! I turned into Zendaya for a moment. Regardless, moving on, we actually see Peter gets pulled to a police station. He's under investigation, and then we get our first cameo of the film, Daredevil himself.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh, that's beautiful.
That was clever. That was clever.
it's funny. Everybody all knew because here's the thing: Marvel made sure to specify that was him, not just by the name, but I mean, this dude was literally wearing shades, all red.
Are you kidding me? We all knew because you saw how he freaking caught that brick, right?
That too. This dude, before Peter even could reach out to grab it, this dude was just like nonchalantly, not even looking back, just.
Just like, how'd you do that?
I'm a very good lawyer.
I'm a very
He's a very good lawyer.
Regardless,
Daredevil's amazing.
I love Daredevil.
that was a very good way to tie in Daredevil to the MCU. This actually opens up the question: is Daredevil going to get a revival series? Because we do know he had a Netflix show, but could it be possible that he could be reintegrated back into the MCU?
And I kind of think that.
Ooh, standalone movie.
I would be down.
He had a movie before then.
Yeah, but it's not connected to the MCU, and I heard it kind of sucked.
Yeah, a lot of movies do.
Okay, not wrong. Regardless, moving on.
Let's speak.
I thought that could also, like, your question, like, could that open up for more Daredevil content? I actually think that also leads to, could that lead to more of, like, the content from the TV series, like with Jessica Jones and Luke Cage? Definitely not Iron Fist, because I heard that sucked, but but more of, like, the Defenders.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I hear you.
It's curious.
Very curious. Anyways, we're moving on. Apparently, Peter's being praised all over the place. He doesn't know how to handle it, and honestly, they did a pretty good job I want to say, how do I put it? They did a good job of copying what our generation would actually do.
Yeah, because there's the side of us who think he's a hero, and then there's the other side who thinks he's a murderer.
Honestly,
That too, but I was really talking about how everyone just pulled out their phone and just started recording him while he was walking through the hallway.
Literally.
I was
Dude,
like, this poor boy.
It does, like, everyone was just like straight up like they didn't even give him room. They gave him a little bit of room to walk, but they were just like,
I'm gonna record this. It's going up on TikTok.
I know.
yeah, we're gonna get famous, bro. Also, freaking Flash, dude. Actually, speaking of Flash, did anyone notice that like when he turned blonde, he's starting to look a little bit like his old self from the comics? Cause Flash is blonde.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This dude, but it was funny. This dude just so much all the time. It's like Peter Parker is my best friend. You could read all about it in Flashpoint, the story about Peter and Flash.
Possible
I
DC
think-
reference.
I honestly kind of think that like, not just being a reference to his comic self and also like himself in the other movies, but also just like it also fits into his character because Flash is a douchebag.
He is.
Flash is a
Flash is a
douchebag,
douchebag.
but it's funny
And
because he
honestly-
loves Spider-Man.
And honestly,
Yeah.
Flash dyeing his hair blonde honestly seems like the most douchebag thing he ever could have done.
It does.
I
Honestly.
see him and I'm just like, ugh, he looks even more punchable.
It's funny because when I saw him blonde, I was looking at him and it took me a while to notice. And then like the second the scene with him ended, I was like, wait, why is he blonde?
It was just like the last thing in the back of your head.
Yeah, because I was just more like, oh my god, this dude is acting like he's Peter's best friend now. When this dude is all like, hey, what's up, shitface?
Regardless, let's
Peter
move on.
Parker?
Let's move on. Apparently, the whole thing about this is that Spider-Man and his friends are trying to get into MIT, which is actually that's a callback to Captain America: Civil War because that's the college that Iron Man actually spoke at and gave away free scholarships. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
That was a call.
Oh, yeah.
That was a callback.
I didn't. That's
So,
cool.
you know, good on you, Marvel. Good on you. Regardless,
Wait, also
up?
didn't Tony Stark graduate from MIT as well?
It's possible. I don't remember. I just know that that's where he went and gave away scholarships in Civil War.
I remember then in another scene, skipping ahead a little bit, but I remember I thought you guys were going to bring up Strange, and I was like, nah, he went to Columbia. He was wearing a Columbia sweatshirt.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, we're coming close to Strange. MIT rejects them because of controversy. Because oh, you're Spider-Man and these are your accomplices. We can't let you in on our school. Bullshit, you can't. But regardless, Peter
it's more
instead of
like-
trying to talk to them and trying to grow his gate and try to speak his case, instead just goes straight for the easy way out and goes to Doctor Strange.
Dude, when I saw Doctor Strange in the trailer, I flipped because he's my favorite.
Oh
Hands
yeah,
down.
Benedict
I
Cumberbatch
love
is a
Doctor
really good
Strange
actor. I will
so
say that.
He's
much.
amazing.
He's
I love him so much.
great.
Who's laughing?
Looks
Who's
great
laughing
too.
Now? Who's laughing
okay.
now?
Just fucking hold up really quickly. Oh, please, you don't need to call me. We're way past sir. We saved the whole planet together. Okay, Steven. It's a little weird, but
Where's
what?
Bella?
that whole scene just with Spider-Man and Strange interacting was just gold. What also makes you know what, I'll save that for later because I have something to say about those two. Regardless, we cut to them trying to get a spell done of where everyone will forget Peter Parker as Spider-Man. However,
Goodbye, Spider-Man.
Parker kinda fails to realize, oh yeah, everyone who knows you're Spider-Man is also gonna forget.
Honestly,
You
I
didn't
get
think
that
this
part.
through?
But here's
Yeah,
this is the
totally.
thing. This
Like I didn't get that part because it was like you could always just like tell them again.
This is also the thing, though. It's like also one thing what Strange tells Parker. I don't remember if he said it during this part or later on. I'm pretty sure it was this part where he looks at him. And is like, I keep forgetting sometimes that you're just a kid. That plays out through the whole movie because this whole mess was because he was just a kid. He wasn't thinking
Yeah.
anything through.
Yeah.
That's after the spell occurs. It's where he says that Peter's just a kid, and well, he's right. He's a high schooler. He's a kid. He
He's
doesn't know
trying to
what he
get
wants.
into college.
so-
He's
Like,
still
so many
young.
times- like so many times in media, like with like Harry Potter or like with the Hunger Games or something, like you forget that these people are teenagers. Like they're children.
You really
Like,
do.
I remember when I read The Hunger Games when I was 13. I was like 12 or 13. And these people, and Katniss and Peter were like 17 or 18 or something. I was like, wow, they're practically adults. And now looking back when I'm 20 years old, I'm like, those are children. Like we forget so often when it comes to teenagers and media,
Truth.
even with anime as well. Like you forget that these people are very young.
Yeah, but then there's also, of course, the thing is like, yeah, you can argue with that, but then also there's the whole thing about certain people are fictional, so it
Yeah.
does make sense. But like people get so offended over like the fictional characters when in reality
Okay,
it's the
okay.
stuff.
That's for another podcast.
Just had to say it really quick.
I know, but that's for another. That's an entirely different bag of words we can get into later.
I'm freaking out. The case. Anyways, continue. Freaking Andrew Garfield.
anyways, continuing on. Basically, Parker messes with the spell 5 or 6 times. Strange gets annoyed, and the spell almost tries to break the entire multiverse. Thankfully, he was able to contain it in time, and then kicked Peter out because he didn't even talk to the school.
Yeah, you didn't even appeal.
You didn't talk to the school, you moron!
And Peter's Strange said that, and Peter's like, "Wait, you can do that? You mean you didn't try to do that in the first place?" Like that was right there. Like that was actually a good question because it's like, wait, yeah, you could just call and talk to him about this.
That goes back to though, like he's just a kid.
That does go back.
Yeah.
He didn't think that his mind was
Actually,
going
quick thing about that spell. I actually heard this a couple days ago on what Parker could have said instead of making everyone forget he's Spider-Man. Have everyone forget Mysterio and what he said about Parker's identity.
Could work
to.
too.
Clever.
Could have actually worked too. Actually.
That would have worked.
I mean,
That makes sense.
would it delete all digital footprint of it? I'm not sure. However,
The thing is
it would cover it up.
Well, I mean, remember though, it kind of does though in some sense, because remember when they said with like Peter, like, oh, after everyone forgot, JJ was immediately saying like Spider-Man. He didn't mention anything about Parker, so whatever that video did showing Peter obviously means that there's no sort of like actual left behind proof of Peter still being there.
Maybe.
You know, with what you just said, Adam, about everybody forgetting about what Mysterio said, I'm actually picturing of how it should have ended video on YouTube. Actually using that.
Actually, I would be down to watch that if I had Disney Plus. Regardless, moving on to the iconic bridge scene, we have Spider-Man in his Iron Spider costume, which still looks amazing, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
And
dude,
we make it to the scene. He's talking to the a representative of MIT, and everyone starts running
Peter.
away.
I say.
Oh, I wonder why until freaking mechanical arms pop out of the gosh darn road.
Oh my
Say it
God.
in the shades. I gotta say it. Hello, Peter.
Doc Ock! Not to mention, played by the original actor whose name escapes me at the moment. Gosh darn it, why didn't I research this?
Oh my god,
it's
it's Alfred Molina.
Yeah,
Also known as the goes, if I was a rich man, yeah, I got it.
I love that movie.
I'm guessing you guys saw the video too about him performing on Fiddler.
It's a quality musical though. But,
Somebody edited that fucking scene into the No Way Home trailer, and it looked perfect.
That's awesome. I gotta look that up later. Regardless.
But I gotta say, for Doc Ock coming back, it's like, oh my god, the main man himself is back.
That man made the fucking Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. That was
Also, did you guys?
his performance was amazing. What's
I
up?
have a trivia fact about the tentacles. The original tentacles for Spider-Man 2 were done with not just CGI but also puppetry. So like they were puppets with some CGI. And for No Way Home, they did like full CGI for the tentacles.
Well,
Yeah,
obviously.
I found out about that too. Like I thought that was pretty sick. Like they managed.
Also, another little tidbit about the puppetry for the tentacles for Spider-Man 2. It took 18 people to work all the tentacles.
18? Fuck!
Yeah.
Puppetering is easy, dude. No, it's not just one person. There's got to be like a crap ton of people.
Yeah,
I mean, hell, there's a lot
know,
of
but
Muppets who do that.
18!
Yeah.
18!
That's crazy.
It
Okay.
would have been so cool to see that in action. Like
Regardless, we're getting so much off topic. We had so much fun with this movie. Regardless.
Oh yeah.
What have you done with my machine?
A machine. Machine with the power of
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. You want to play games? Catch. So for most of you guys who don't know from that specific line, when Doc Ock said, "What have you done to my machine?" This means that at this current time right now, for Doc Ock at least, this is around the time when Doc Ock was still preparing his machine to basically do whatever he was planning to do. I forgot what the main point was.
Actually,
And Peter,
What else is evil plan?
sorry to cut you off. I actually know what point in time Doc Ock was taken until he was popped into the MCU. Remember?
Yeah, I
he said he had him by the throat, and then.
yeah, I know. So he
So it
still
was
had
sometime
the
in
machine.
final battle then.
Yeah.
Yes, it was
Sometime
at.
in the final battle then.
It was at the
Because-
final battle, yeah.
So this
I'm
gave
assuming-
off that this isn't because in the beginning, remember in the trailers they said you're flying into the night fighting ghosts. This made everyone think these are people coming back from the dead. No, the fact that he said "Where's my machine" means that this is before his death.
Mm-hmm.
And and that's a whole other topic for later,
That's a whole
regardless.
other-
Yeah.
We have one of the coolest fucking fight scenes I've ever seen in my life.
So good.
And
Also, I think.
what's up?
Also, wasn't Peter saves the? I'm sorry.
The MIT assistant lady,
Yeah,
I don't
Peter
know what
saves-
she was.
Vice Chancellor.
Miss
Peter
Chancellor.
saves the Vice Chancellor of MIT, and I believe the thing where he like webs the back of the car so it's hanging from the bridge.
Yeah?
Isn't that a callback to Amazing Spider-Man?
I think it might be, actually.
Yeah.
No, seriously, think about it, Eddie. Shooting the web to hang the cars up. Actually, yes, you're right, Liv. I think that is a callback.
Yeah.
There's so many
Yeah.
freaking.
Why?
That's a main point of this movie. There's so many freaking Easter eggs in it that actually, I believe Bolt Tag sent me a whole freaking video counting all the Easter eggs. We have over 70.
Damn.
Bro,
That's
it's
a lot.
it's crazy, bro.
It's
a
nuts.
lot.
Regardless,
Speaking of Easter eggs, that one scene right there where when Peter's fighting against Doc Ock, Stan Lee is in there, but he's not in there.
Where?
Pay attention to the taxi number. That's the number of his birth.
oh, that's clever.
It was an
That's
Easter
awesome.
egg to Stanley. I found out about this, and when I saw it, I was like, "Wait, no way!" And I looked it up. It was accurate.
That's so sweet.
That is
I love
awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Excelsior.
anywhoosies.
Rest in peace.
Doc Ock actually rips off Peter's suit, and we get the sign, "You're not Peter Parker." Before
I'm
Peter,
You try now?
there's actually a few things I want to say about that scene. First off, this proves that this Doc Ock is the original Doc Ock. Like,
Uh-huh.
this isn't just some guy they pulled out. This is the original Doc Ock. Second off, you know how the nanotechnology actually fused with his arms? Did you know that that was actually a callback to Oscorp? Because remember, Otto Octavius worked with Oscorp, and they were developing nanotechnology.
Oh shit.
Forgot about that.
That is an
In the
insane
MCU,
callback. These people did their fucking homework, and it's great.
In the MCU, Tony Stark created the nanotech.
Oh my god, so does
Yeah.
that mean Dr. Octavius is smarter than Tony Stark? Because that was back in the 2000s. Tony Stark
Maybe.
invented nanotechnology
Some
was
way,
like
some way it could have been.
2019 or something.
It could have been possible that maybe Tony Stark.
Nick is losing his mind right now. Look at him.
No, it could have been possible. No, what if it's possible that back then in that universe, Octavius was the Tony Stark of that universe, but was turned bad due to the obvious casualties?
Maybe like the Tony Stark genius of that.
The
world.
little nanochip in his head. Regardless.
No, maybe it was done because like it was probably like because it was a company. It was probably like a whole collaboration. Of
Yeah,
scientists,
I would
not
say
figured
that.
out ahead.
Anyways.
That too.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Peter actually is able to take control of Doc Ock's arm, which I think is hilarious.
It was
The
so
whole
Like,
freaking. Anyways, saves the MIT lady. She says she'll talk to the whole council, and then
that is not right.
And the next thing you know, the best thing ever, as the smoke goes up. What was that?
Oh shit!
Osborn?
Osborn? Yeah, I know. Dude, Goblin! The OG! The man himself! The horror.
Calm down, Nate. Calm
I
down.
don't think he can.
They-
Oh my! Wait! Nate! Don't put the hat back on. You actually look like Doc Ock earlier. You actually look like Doc Ock.
What have you done to my machine?
Oh, that's great. That's
Seriously,
perfect.
guys. Seriously, guys, have you ever seen any of Willem Dafoe's other movies?
I'm trying to
No.
remember.
Oh, he was in Aquaman as well. He is an amazing actor.
I believe
Who
it.
was he?
He is.
He is.
He's,
I believe it.
Volko. He's Volko, Aquaman's mentor. in the
Oh.
movie. Willem Dafoe.
Dude,
Mwah.
the fact that we
It's
saw
amazing.
this man come back, and I believe he's in his 60s now,
Yes.
and he said he would do it if they let him do as many stunts as possible. I respect
Actually,
the hell out of
I
that.
love it.
And here's the
Actually,
thing.
no. They said he would only come back if he did all of his
Yeah.
own stunt.
He said he didn't want to come back as just a cameo. He wanted to actually feel part of the movie. So he asked to be playing all his stunts. Which, by the way, guys, when we get to a certain part talking about the movie, you guys are going to see what we mean by, oh, he does all his stunts. And believe us when we say this. For this guy who's sick in his 60s, goddamn.
No.
Pretty much.
So
Anyways,
good.
Anyways, before Green Goblin can strike, whoop, little portal comes up, and Doc Ock is now in a cage, and we get our first cameo from the amazing Spider-Man universe, the Lizard,
Yeah.
Dr. Connors.
I loved him. I loved the lizard.
The only thing I have bad to say about the Lizard in that scene, we didn't get to see him fight Doctor Strange.
Speaking of
That is a missed opportunity.
Actually, if the DVDs decide, if Disney does this right with the DVDs, if they do it, I did hear rumors that apparently there is a deleted scene that does show Lizard fighting against Doctor Strange. So if when the DVDs come out and they decide to show that scene in it, and if they want their money, they should do that. There is a possibility we could see how that interaction went, because it will be interesting to see how Strange struggled to capture this Lizard man.
Amazing.
Oh yes.
Also, I kind of like
I
the
love
line
how-
out Strange used, be careful for what you wish for.
Yeah.
love how
I
he's
think that's
kinda-
just hilarious.
I love how it's kind of taken over from Tony going, I don't want to hear it. And now
I
I want
know.
to hear it.
And now I gotta hear it. Oh man.
This was
Honestly-
awesome, and now I got to hear it.
Honestly, one thing I wanted to point out about this scene, 3 British actors had to act American for one interaction.
No, Dr. Connors is British. Dr. Connors
Huh?
is British.
Not Dr. Connors.
No, not Dr. Connors. We're
Doc
talking
Ock.
about Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, and Strange.
Oh, not bad.
Wait, I said-
Watch this. Do you know a Peter Parker named Spider-Man? Yes.
No.
Is this him? No.
Oh.
You see? That was funny to me. That was actually pretty hilarious.
Everyone said this. Multiverse is real?
Yeah, it's
Actually,
Marvel.
I like how we were able to get more of like snarky Doctor Strange that we saw in his movie because like in like Infinity War and Endgame he had to be the serious protector of the
Yeah.
Infinity Stone, but like
Yeah, but
in
seeing
this
him a little
movie,
bit snarky again was actually pretty
Yeah.
refreshing. I will agree with you on that, Liv.
I mean, it made sense why they had to make him like super serious in Infinity War and Endgame. I mean, he was protecting the Time Stone for a reason. So the fact
Yeah,
that he
it
had to, like, this wasn't one of those moments where it's like I had to be I could still be playing around. This is like, okay, I am the true. I need to fulfill my destiny, kind of thing.
This is like
Yeah,
this is
but
like
we're
something-
just saying
this is
it's
like
very good to
people-
see Benedict Cumberbatch getting back in touch with his snarky side.
I wonder how he
Or
must
should I
have
say
had so much.
Starky side?
Get off the stage!
I,
Boo, get off the stage! I want a refund.
I had to. That just popped in my head. I was just like, perfect.
God damn it.
Great.
Regardless.
So, yeah, then we get into that point where Stark, when I Stark, God damn it. I hate you, Don. We get to this point where Strange is explaining the situation to Peter. Peter is trying to figure things out, and then that's when Strange says, "It's up to you to do this. This is your mess. You clean it up." But before he does, obviously, Peter's trying to go talk to him. Well, at the same time, actually, he mentions magic, and Octavius like, "Magic? There's no such thing as magic. What is he, some sort of magician?" And then that's when he sees Strange teleport Peter.
What is this?
I
A
don't remember
birthday party?
Yeah, and then that's when he sees Strange, teleports Peter into one of the cells, and then Ock looks at him. How did you do that? A lot
Lots
of birthday parties.
A lot of birthday parties.
I love
That's
it.
when Peter
Oh,
is
birthday
gained. That is when Peter gains some sort of wrist magical thing that allows him to teleport anybody he fires into those cells, meaning that he had to go after all of them. This is what I'm gonna say is interesting here. Did you guys take notice that there were 6 cells in there?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, there were 6 of them. Because remember,
Wow.
I'll explain where the 6th one is later when we get to that point, Liv.
No,
if you
I know
wanna
what you're talking
refresh-
about, Bolt. I know what you're talking
Don
about.
knows. I'm saying for Liv.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
know. I hear you.
after that, they explain everything, and before obviously Strange sends Peter out to do what he has to do, Peter says, "Hold up, we're gonna need some help, and I know who can help us." And thus brings in the magnificent duo of friends Peter will ever have, freaking MJ and Ned.
The iconic trio.
I love
It
these
was
two!
so awesome.
Oh, also, I have a trivia.
I can't
fact,
believe I'm
another
in the
trivia
Spectrum
fact.
Victorum! I can't believe
I can't
it either.
believe it either.
I love Ned and
So,
Strange's
do you
interaction
do you
with
have
Peter,
do you have a
but-
way to tell if I'm magic? Because my nana says I have magic, and I sometimes get these weird feelings in my fingers. You should talk to your physician.
So during that sorry, go ahead.
I have a thing. So Strange gives him the rundown. Like Peter gives him the rundown. He was trying to do a memory spell so you two could get into college. And he tells them, "Look, this is your mess. So go Scooby Doo this shit." And there's you know what's interesting about that line, Scooby Doo this shit? This is like a trivia fact I know because I am just Scooby Doo obsessed. But
Same.
I can see. I can relate.
Originally, Stephen Strange was modeled after the actor, the myth, the legend, Vincent Price. His middle name is Vincent as well. And Vincent Price was in the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. Like the original
Wow.
show, the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. So that was basically like a layered reference.
Wow.
That was
That's
wow.
really
I didn't even pick up on that one because
Yeah.
wow. I didn't pick up on that one. That's amazing, Liv,
Awesome,
how you were
right?
able to find that.
I know. It's because I'm Scooby-Doo obsessed. Like
Fair
I
enough,
just-
fair enough. It's just like
Like there's,
and then
like, there's no
MJ
going
comes back
for
with the
me.
snarkiest remark ever. You
But
know,
we-
I understand and that you're upset, but technically this spell is your mess, and I know a few magic words myself. One of them being please.
Please, Scooby Doo this shit.
What happens when a ball of snark meets another ball of snark?
Oh man, I know it's very
Stark.
entertaining. Then we end up having obviously Ned, JMJ, and Peter going down into the basement so they could discuss a plan on what they can do, how to find all of them, specifically Goblin, because so far all they know is there's Goblin. They don't know who the rest are. As they're searching up for a way to find them, that's when Doc Ock, like Peter remembers, Ock knows Goblin, and Ock, obviously being the dick he is, says nothing until he says he shouldn't be alive. What do you mean? Norman Osborn died. Well, how many years has it been since he died in that? Like
Okay,
2 years.
Yeah, the movies were made like 2 years apart, so yeah, he would have been dead for 2 years.
Yeah, so he knows that, which means that that's when Ock says, either you're fighting the real person, or you're flying into the night, fighting ghosts.
Yeah, that also hints at like when exactly he was.
And then we have a new spider suit. Volt, if you please.
So for everyone who doesn't know this, there's obviously in the trailers we get hinted to a new spider suit known as the black and gold Spider-Man suit. Everyone had been so hyped about it for so long, thinking it looks cool, can't wait to see what the features are. The directors themselves actually explicitly spoiled this for everybody, but then we also get to see it in full form in the movie. The reason why he has the black and gold Spider-Man suit isn't because, oh, it's a new suit he made or Doctor Strange gave it to him. It's his normal suit turned inside out.
Which is hilarious.
And the only reason why he turns it inside out, is because at some point when he was like out as Spider-Man, somebody threw slime or something at his suit, so it was all stained. Because of this, he had to figure out how to wash it, and since it was taking a long time to do it, he just saw the inside out of it and was like, "This could work," and that's when he used it.
That works.
Which is
that
hilarious.
kind of, like,
Regardless,
comedic
swinging into the
conclusion that,
forest
like,
looking for a new pit, we get a little bit of as if something's coming, And then
I see that?
right behind him,
Right. Paranoia tonight.
guys, I
Right.
found someone. Is it the guy you saw on the bridge? No, he was green. This one's blue. Blue. Huh. That sounds familiar. Maybe Jamie Foxx's Electro?
Yeah, this is what's amazing about this. The creators, I guess, obviously knew how many people hated the way that he looked. So
Yeah.
when they showed him, he wasn't like, it didn't show his like entire blue body. It was all just created as electricity. So all we saw is an blue electricity figure of Electro. Thus begins the fight between him and Spider-Man. And when it seems like Electro is about to hit him with a killing blow, someone comes to save him using a wall of sand. And out of that wall comes the best fucking villain. Not really the best villain, but one of the nicest villains out there in the Spider-Man movies, Sandman.
Sandman.
It's Peter, it's me. Flint Marco. Remember?
Hey.
Yeah.
Enter Sandman.
That's a good reference.
I'm sorry, but since they
It's
didn't
valid
play that,
reference.
that was a missed opportunity. They should
I
have
know.
played it when he made his entrance.
I know.
Regardless.
Thus, they end
This
up
is like-
fighting off against Electro. Sandman holds Electro in a tornado of sand, while Spider-Man is able to disconnect all of the lines,
all the power
Power
lines.
cables.
all the power lines. And when he does, it frees Electro, and we get to see Jamie Foxx in his entire body, not blue.
So y'all gonna
Even
just
he
stand
is
there
naked.
pretending like I'm not butt ass naked?
Oh, here's also the thing. He even takes a knowledge of it because they even remember the film. They made sure to put a nod to that because when he looks at his body, you could see some of the sparks, but you could also hear him say, "I got my body back."
That's
I love
very
the-
true.
speaking
And
of how it
then
should've ended.
you just
Speaking
beamed
of how
him.
it sh- Speaking of
And
how
then,
it should've
then
ended,
Marco
I
not
love-
trusting anyone now.
Stop
because-
cutting her off!
What?
Dude,
I didn't know you were talking. I'm sorry.
speaking of how it should have ended, we mentioned that a while ago. One of my favorite how it should have ended ever is Amazing Spider-Man 2. When he's about to fall into the ills, they go, yeah, we'll just keep it open. No one's here. Here's a bright idea. How about you close the lid full of electric eels before somebody falls in and electrocutes the crap out of themselves? Fine. There was gonna be a guy here. There was a guy still here. Oh, hey, and he fell.
Oh man. So yeah, also by the way, going back to the cells, when Spider-Man shot the first shot at Electro, he missed and it hit a tree. So that
Yeah.
sixth cell was filled with a tree. Thus, after that, after they won, Parker ended up shooting Electro with it, sending him to one of the cells. Sandman immediately goes on high alert because he doesn't realize that he just teleported him. He thinks Spider-Man killed him. So when Peter's trying to calm him down, like, take it easy, man. I'm not trying to hurt you. I don't know you. And gets ready to attack him before Peter shoots him. And it's funny.
Everything from me. I don't even know who you are.
And it's funny because as Peter's getting ready to come back, or like after he's like fixing all the power lines, Ned is looking at the tree like, so is this some sort of like mutated tree or something? And it's just a tree, kid. Just a tree.
The funny thing is,
True.
Max actually recognizes the lizard,
Dr.
and
Connors.
the Dr. Connors recognizes Max. They're just like, hey, I know you.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, Connor.
Hey, Connor. And Connor is like trying to find a way. It's like, I could help you make your life better. Let me guess. By turning me into a lizard? Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I'll pass.
Regardless, fast forward a little bit. Peter fixes the power lines because they're kind of trying to
Got
pin
it.
him on everything, and then
Mhm.
and then May calls him. It's just like, what do you guys just walked in?
That's when he comes into the shelter. She comes into the shelter to go looking around at everyone like, where's Aunt May? And he runs into the back room. And who do we see Aunt May in the back having coffee and donuts with? None other. Yep.
Norman Osborn.
He's still
Actually, it is Osborn, not Green Goblin this time.
Yeah,
he
so-
broke the mask, by the way.
What happened was, as Peter was fixing the power lines, Norman Osborn was in an alleyway hiding the Goblin Glider. He had his mask hanging from the trash can, and then obviously going back to the first Spider-Man film, he's talking to the Green Goblin alternate personality. Norman is obviously scared and confused. He's not wanting to listen to his goblin, so he grabs a piece of junk, throws it at the mask, and breaks it. Obviously, I was kind of disheartened by that because that means we weren't gonna see that amazing fucking look anymore. But in the end, though, it was a good thing he did it for it in the movie because later on, I'm gonna explain every single detail why him now having the mask made him more compelling. So after he broke the mask, that's when he ran off. And of course, when Spider-Man sees Aunt May with him, he mentions saying, "I saw brochures of Spider-Man here, and I came here to see if I could talk to him.
Call
I
back
needed
to,
help."
I'm assuming Far From Home when Spider-Man made an appearance in Aunt May's soup kitchen.
Yeah. So Osborn is actually there. He's in full control. And the reason why he looked for Spider-Man is because he wants help. He needs help not only fixing what he's doing, but figuring out where the hell he is.
You can actually hear the distress in his voice. It's just like, someone's sleeping at my house. Oscorp
that
doesn't
is why-
exist. My
That
son.
is why tragic. And that is why I love Willem Dafoe as an actor. You know, he made you
Very good
feel
actor,
bad
yes.
for him.
This man,
It was-
obviously,
It was also
and the
like
thing
cracked
is-
on the callbacks, which is awesome.
yeah, this man also, he did not, like, when you, like Don said, you can hear the distress in his voice, meaning that wasn't Goblin. This was actually Norman Osborn himself. Obviously, both Aunt May and Peter themselves both felt bad for him, so they decided to take him back to the ruins so that way they could figure something out. Obviously, Ned and MJ are a bit on guard about this because they don't realize he's, sane. And then that's when we have the best interaction with the bad guys ever, because Norman goes up to the cells looking all amazed before he sees Otto and says, "Otto? Norman?"
Well, shit! They know each other. Before we continue, can I just point out a couple references?
Yeah.
When Osborn was talking, like when I said, someone's sleeping at my house, Oscorp doesn't exist, my son, that's actually a callback to Harry Osborn, who has not made an appearance ever since the MCU started. Disappointing.
There's a reason why.
And the second reason is that this proves that Oscorp does not exist in the MCU, which could either lead to build up to it being founded, or we're just never gonna see it.
I did see a thing from in the Hawkeye series. Kate Bishop asks about Stark Tower, and Clint mentions that somebody bought it. So people were theorizing that it was
Oscorp.
hinting at a future Oscorp. But since it says Oscorp doesn't exist, and we would need someone from the Osborn family to start it, I'm assuming it doesn't exist.
Dude, I would say that. Well, for all we know, maybe there is that possibility we will get it. For all we know, maybe there is a Harry Osborn in this. It's just that instead of him being the actual instead of it being Norman Osborn founding it, it's Harry. Like, it could be like, oh, maybe his father tried to do this, but the company never came to be. So Harry himself, when he gets older, or specifically graduated from high school, goes to end up creating the new Oscorp, where Stark Towers or the Avengers was it Stark Towers?
It was Stark Tower.
Yeah, Stark Towers used to be. So that could be a good theory. So going back to current time now. So obviously we know Dr. Connors and Max Dillon know each other. Otto Octavius, Norman Osborn know each other. Otto and Norman discuss with each other before Otto reveals that Norman died by Spider-Man.
And then,
Norman is confused because he's still alive, obviously, which means that this is around the time when Norman was supposed to die against Peter. Though I feel like it might be before that, because the only reason why I say that is because his suits still look clean. That's my
I think
opinion.
it was before he died to Spider-Man, because I think they said that. Wait, what didn't Green Goblin say he had Spider-Man in his clutches, and then he was here?
No.
That was like I think that either that could have been the first time that he was about to kill him, or it could have been around the time when they fought, like maybe the second time.
Regardless,
I was wondering a lot about that too, because like if Octavius was pulled like right when he was about to kill Peter, and then Osborn was killed right when he was about to kill Peter, but that was 2 years before Octavius, like wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff probably.
Yeah. So obviously these two are confused, and then that's when Otto himself even expressed. Then that's when I don't remember who was the one that
Sandman pointed it out.
Yeah, Sandman pointed out that both of them are dead. And then that's when Otto ends up talking about it and how he had Spider-Man by the throat and was ready to kill him before poof, he was here. Then that's when Max Dillon decided to be a snarking asshole he is. He's like, I had Spider-Man in the clutches of my hand, and I was about ready to shock this kid Fry. And then,
Oh shit! I was about
oh
to
shit,
die.
I was about to die.
I did appreciate how Max, when they were like, "You're dead." What? God, I love it here.
Yeah.
Dr. Connors actually turns to Max and is like, Max, do you know? Do I die? That's actually a callback to The Amazing Spider-Man because Connors didn't die. He actually was cured and then was sent back and then was sent to prison, which was supposed to be set up for the Sinister Six. However, that did not come to fruition, so...
Technically,
Was
the
that
Sinister
why there were 6 cells?
Yes, because originally it was supposed to be the Sinister Six. Well, I will tell you guys this. The Sinister Six was there. It was in the movie, but you didn't see the Sinister Six person until the end. I'll explain who the sixth person is later, and I'll explain why he's the sixth person. I'll do that when we get to the end.
Talking about.
Yeah, no one say it yet, because we're obviously going to wait till the viewers talk here.
Obviously, me and Nate.
Yeah, so let me explain. Let me explain this first. So obviously, this is where things got confusing. If you remember how I brought back with Doc Ock saying like you're flying into the night fighting ghosts. If they're all dead, Lizard and Sandman should have been dead. They never died. Lizard was sent to prison. Sandman just flew off into the air, like a beautiful wind in the breeze.
Just kind of fucked
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that they were going to die. They just knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. That's why.
So then that's when we finally realized, oh, these are people who just know Parker is Spider-Man. Obviously, they all realize this. Aside from Sandman and Connors, obviously, because they're alive, the Ock, Goblin, and Electro all realized in their specific moments they were about to die, or at least Ock and Max did, because we still don't know if Goblin was supposed to die, because again, his suit still looks clean. Then that's when Strange comes. As they realize all this, Spider-Man begins feeling bad for them, especially when he finds out that Spider-Man killed quote unquote killed Otto Octavius, killed Osborn, killed Dylan, and everything else. So when he
I like how there was some build up to like Peter's whole how his mind began to turn at that. I like how there was like the little spark of it was when May told Peter that Norman was lost up there, in the mind. I like that they kind of laid the groundwork for that.
Yeah. So then afterwards, that's when, as this whole thing is discussed, Strange comes in and he's like, good, you found the last one, and puts Osborn in the cell. After that, that's when he gets ready to send all of them back. They're all freaking out because they don't want to die, or obviously because they just like the world here. Osborn, you can see, is the most terrified of them all because he's like, Peter! And right as Strange is about to finish it, don't.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm assuming jail isn't friendly to a scientist either. So.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, we're going to talk about that later. So, after that begins a good fight scene between Strange and Spider-Man, where the two of them are fighting for the body. That was funny, by the way. So, you guys know there's an ability that Strange and all the other magicians have where they can basically pull the spirits out of the person's body while the person's body is in a comatose state.
Astral forms.
So, when Strange goes to grab the box from Peter, somehow his body was still moving it on its own without Peter still in it. So that was
the Spidey sense.
Yeah,
right?
that was definitely Spidey sense. Also, can I just rant about that real quick? Just really quickly.
Before you
Why did anyone call it a Spidey sense? For fuck's sake!
Oh yeah, everyone was calling it the tingle thing.
They keep calling it the tingle thing. Stop! Just call it the spider sense for fuck's sake!
I like how we're all talking about this and Nick hasn't said a word. So you know what, Nick? I'll let you continue this entire interaction between Strange and Spider-Man.
All right. So after Spider-Man is back in his body, they have a giant fight, which leads to the mirror dimension, which leads them causing weird reality hijinks.
Mm-hmm.
Why was that, Adam?
Coolest CGI effect ever.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I know.
It was so good.
So after this whole hijinks battle happens, Peter unexpectedly actually locks Strange in the mirror dimension, and Peter ends up with the spell.
Using geometry.
Yeah, this freaking kid beat a man with magical dimensional powers using math. The audacity of this kid.
The audacity. Can I just say though?
And he
love
took the sling
effects
ring.
For the mirror dimension. The effects for the mirror dimension are so cool.
It was amazing.
So damn cool.
Damn
Really,
awesome.
He defeated him using math and fucking chutzpah.
And
Which
like
is
Adam
hilarious.
said, Peter took the sling ring from Doctor Strange as well. So from there, we have Peter, May, and the whole rest of the Scooby Gang going to Happy Hogan's apartment.
The Scooby Gang.
Before we do this, I want to quickly talk about that. Before they left, Peter's discussing how they figure out how to fix this, and then that's when Otto Osborn comes in. Not Otto Osborn, fucking Norman Osborn comes in and says a line from the first film. It's like, I can help with that. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I can help with that. You know, I'm somewhat of a scientist myself.
Call back! Call
nostalgia!
back! I love it!
I fucking love that line.
Before we go,
so funny.
there's a image I saw. I'm pretty sure I sent it to you guys yesterday. But there's an image where it shows two pictures of iCarly, young and old, and then Osborn in both the first film and the second in the new one. It shows iCarly as a kid singing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
is
just
that meme where like Miranda Cosgrove is looking at her laptop with the starlight?
yeah.
Yep.
Like in the
Interesting.
first, dude, like that played out well because that shows like how well things have been. The nostalgia with that.
That just shows how well these people did their frickin' homework.
Yep. So then,
Regardless.
thus, Nick, continue.
So, when the whole Scooby Gang, yes, I say that, when the whole Scooby Gang gets to Happy Hogan's apartment, Peter then shows Norman Osborn a fabricator that Stark Industries had built, which could create just about anything given the right materials and all that stuff.
It also smashed through a
So
wall.
they then,
He's gonna kill us all.
that is true.
He's gonna kill us all.
So from there, throughout the whole night, Peter and the rest of the gang try and come up with cures for everybody, so they can all go back to their dimensions alive and happy. They first start with Dr. Ock by helping him with his back implant or spinal implant, which as
is
soon as
that
they
thing?
It's like the main.
It's the main attachment that actually helps him control the arms. It's controlled by a little AI, and essentially that chip
like,
was supposed to
kind of
protect his
fried.
brain so that the arms didn't control him, but that got fried.
Yeah.
And that
So
happened.
yeah. So
So
That's
Nick,
when
why I
they
guess
put
he's
the
so
new chip-
miserable at the time.
God damn it, Adon, Nick.
Continue, Nick.
So when the new chip is put inside of him, he says, "The voices, they're gone."
It was so nice. I loved that.
The
It's like-
emotion.
Otto Octavius
it was
is
amazing.
back. He was finally himself again.
His old self.
Can I just say they did the freaking the suspense when they thought they killed Otto though when they switched it. That was hilarious.
I was like, did they kill my favorite?
Even Peter, like you could even hear the emotions in Peter. Like he was having horror. He was like, Doc.
It was so good.
After
Did you-
that,
So they. Oh
Go
yeah,
ahead.
go on, Volt.
so after that,
Oh.
that's when. Oh God damn it! Okay, no, Nick, you go.
Okay, so they created cures for everybody. They also worked on Green Goblin, Lizard, Electro. Did they come up with a cure for Sandman as well? Yes, they did. I remember. So they
Figuring
came up with
something out.
everything. I think I got just about everybody: Goblin, Electro, Sandman, Lizard, Octo.
Yeah, you got
Okay,
everybody.
okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't
Before we
remember
go, I gotta say real quickly. One thing I loved before they created all this, freaking Otto. How is this kid gonna help? What is he gonna make us freaking microwave burritos? I could go for a burrito.
He's gonna kill
That's
us all.
my mood. That was my mood.
It's like, bro,
That's
if you're
that's
gonna make
dead-ass
burritos,
me.
fucking
Might as
awesome.
well.
That's dead ass me in a situation.
No,
Like,
I remember
microwave
this.
with
I
the
remember-
burritos, and I'd just be like, ooh, burritos.
I remember the scene just like, would you like some water? Are you thirsty? Yes, I am thirsty.
Yes.
Saltwater or
Just wanted
fresh?
a soap.
What?
It's so
What?
funny.
You know, because you're an octopus. Freshwater it is, though.
It's the funniest fucking interaction.
How do you respond to that?
I love how Octavius was just like, I hate it here.
Well, the AI kind of made him miserable all the time, so.
Thus, as Nick said, they're obviously making cures for everybody. Peter's currently helping Electro. Sorry, you could go.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So when Peter first starts helping Electro, saying it will keep all the the necessary electricity in your body to help it function normally, because obviously the brain needs electricity to survive. Then things start to get scary when Goblin
take it
comes
here?
back.
Can I take it from here?
Yes.
Okay.
First,
Sure thing.
Oh, they are making a cure for. They're continuing making cures for everyone when Peter's tingle.
I hate it. I hate it.
Starts to go off, and he walks in a trance and was like, "Wait, what?
Peter?
Are you okay? What's happening?"
what's wrong,
May?
Peter?
Then what does he throw?
He stays quiet, looks at everyone for a bit before turning to Osborn and webs him.
And Osborn goes, "That's one neat trick." And you know Norman Osborn is not here.
And Otto just freaking Norman.
Norman's on sabbatical, honey.
that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thus begins the craziest freaking moments of the movie. So for most of you guys who actually don't know this, the reason why Goblin actually came out is because of two reasons. One, they're obviously making a cure to get rid of him from Norman, while at the same time, one single comment that Otto made to Norman, where he says, "Doesn't it feel good, Otto? You're about to be whole again."
Just me.
It does feel great. That was offensive as hell to Goblin, because Goblin's main purpose is to protect Norman. Is to make Norman strong.
It's the darker half.
He's basically
You just have the bright side and then the.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah,
That's a
I like
nice
to think
side.
that when
Cringe.
Octavius said that to be whole, that you're going to be whole again, that's when Green Goblin came out, because like I kind of noticed his tone the second time I watched it with Adam. I noticed that his tone kind of changed. Like, yes, it does. So
And
it's
the
like,
Actually, I should have realized that
and
when
the
I
way
made moving
and
next.
the way he just pauses and looks at Otto after he says that kind of gave it off too, where it's like, wait a minute.
Something ain't right.
Harry Osborn's not
Actually,
here
if you look
anymore.
at the scene of where Peter's freaking out, the first thing when his spider sense goes off, where does he look to first? Peripheral vision. He looks back at Osborn back there. So that's a neat little touch that they put in.
Ooh.
After that, Goblin is obviously saying all these things, saying how Peter's weak and how explaining how all he's doing is taking away our powers that make us strong, that make us better, that make us more superior than the
Gods don't
weaklings
have to
below
choose.
us.
We
it's a
take.
very
The manipulation.
And you
I
could
like the interesting interpretation of like the powers, like the duality of how we view like these people, because they're we think of them as supervillains. And you know, it's not often that someone would come along and go, "Whoa, that's awesome." Normally, you would go, "Oh my God, that's scary."
yeah.
So it's like they're listening to him. So, and I liked that how they all kind of started listening to him because he was saying that, like, these aren't curses, they're blessings. And they were like, blessings? So
And
they've never heard that before.
So because of this, obviously they start having second thoughts. All except Otto Octavius, though, since he was cured, he didn't want this in the first place. So after this, after Goblin says his piece, right when it gets to the last beat for Electro, he immediately grabs it and throws it off, and immediately
Grabs the arc
Electro-
reactor.
grabs the arc reactor.
Oh, yeah.
As this all happens, actually, as Goblin was talking, May went to go grab the cure for Norman, just in case. May started running, and thus begins a fight scene between Electro, Goblin, and Sadman, and a lizard against Parker, and a little bit of Octavius, but he only was there for like one quick scene before he was shot out the window.
Sandman really didn't do anything. He just kind of flew off.
Yeah, well, it's fun thing. Actually, my friend TK mentioned this actually as a joke, saying basically his motive after that was "Screw you guys, I'm going home."
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
And while all of this is happening, mind you, we've got fucking J. Jonah Jameson, the man, the myth, the legend, J. Jonah Jameson, played by another legend, Mr. J.K. Simmons, who has been stalking Peter the entire movie, gets a tip off that they're at Happy Hogan's condominium building. And so
I want incriminating
when
evidence of
all this
Spider-Man.
stuff- I made pictures of Spider-Man. While all of this is happening, when the fight scene is triggered and it all explodes into a fight, he is down there with his news truck trying to catch the scene, and boy does he get a scene.
Also, can I just say, oh shit, my computer's about to die. Crap, hold up for a second.
Oh
Hopefully it
gosh.
connects.
Charge that
Hopefully it
shit.
connects.
Charge that
Say,
shit.
Oh, thank God, it connected. All right, no, so
Let's say that this does lead to one of the greatest fight scenes out of the whole entire movie, I will say.
yes.
It's one of the greatest. I love it so much.
Also, quick two things. First, the line when Lizard came out and JJ saw him. Was that a giant lizard? And then the best scene ever. When Parker was outside of the building, lights shined on him, and JJ sees him. They both see each other. JJ finally says a word that I'm pretty sure a lot of people never thought they would hear, where he says, "I finally got you now, you webbing menace."
He
That's a
finally
chilling
got what he
line.
wanted.
And then Lizard grabs him and just goes, I told you there'd be consequences.
Yes, and dude, this is where William Dafoe shines bright.
This is where it pops off.
This man was fighting the entire time against Tom Holland in this film. He did so many amazing moves that when I looked at it, I kept thinking, oh, this has to be like, a stunt double. But until I saw the reports, I looked back and I'm like, this is a 60-year-old man.
Incredible. Just incredible.
And
Also,
the fact that he's still
the
in
rest-
character doing it. Ah!
No.
It's like, holy shit, man.
Even there's one line he says as they're fighting too, where he's like, all this power, you have all this power, too weak to use it, and slams Peter down.
Strong enough to have it all, too weak to take it.
Oh my god, that line sent chills. It was chills.
Wow.
It was great.
Also, the nerdy wrestler boy in me came out because I saw like about a few different power bombs from like wrestling moves. Like I saw freaking Goblin, even Peter at some point use power bombs on each other. Hell, freaking Goblin threw Peter up, caught him on his shoulders, and straight up did like a freaking power slam to him through like I think fucking 5 to 7 different floors.
Oh, and that tells you how like the spider bite made Peter, you know?
That also tells you how
True.
strong Norman
Yeah.
is.
It's also strong how and the thing is, Norman. Here's the thing: Norman this whole time was wearing like ragged clothes, but he had his armor suit under it. I'm pretty sure even without it, that just also shows how much the Devil's Breath has enhanced Norman's body.
Yeah.
And it's scary. It's scary.
Thus, we end up getting to the conclusion of this first fight between the two. Goblin has Peter ready to die. Aunt May comes in and quickly injects Norman with the cure before Norman blows her away and says it's not working because apparently either Norman gave them the wrong ingredients or they just never completed. I don't know what the whole thing was with that one.
Regardless,
I
it
feel like
didn't
maybe
work. That's what
it was
mattered.
like maybe it was a bit of both. Like it wasn't completed yet, and after Green Goblin came out, he deliberately gave them
Wait a minute.
ingredients.
Backtracking a little bit to when Otto was saying you're going to be whole again, Norman, and when you guys noticed a change between Norman and Goblin, maybe after that's when he sabotaged the serum.
Ooh, yeah.
to
That
cure
makes
him.
sense.
That actually
like, I
makes a
think
lot of
that was
sense,
the
yeah.
last thing they were working on before this whole debacle happened. They were working on a cure for Norman. So when Otto pissed off Green Goblin took over, sabotaged the serum, and then when the fight happened and May hit him with the injection, that's when he said it's not working.
Yep.
It didn't work.
Also, shout out to Aunt May. She's just iconic.
Marissa
I love
Tomei
her
was very good in this movie.
so much.
I am not gonna
So
lie.
after that,
Apparently in the comics, Aunt May, like, she tells freaking Wolverine. There's one comic where she tells Wolverine that he's gonna abide by the rules of her house and stares him down until he goes, "Yes, ma'am."
So after this, Norman has Peter by the hair. He's getting ready to kill him. May grabs a blunt object and is ready to fight
it's a
back.
hatchet. She's got a hatchet.
Norman is
It was
talking
good.
so much crap to her, saying all these horrible things to scare her. And as he does, something appears behind her outside. And what is it?
The glider.
The glider.
Glider.
And you can even hear Peter's plea where he's not only can he see it, but you can tell he senses it. Where he's just like, "Oh my, oh my," and the second
run.
and the second May goes to hit Goblin, the glider comes in, blows her away. Goblin throws Peter down, and he hops onto the glider. I forgot what he said after that, but then the most horrifying scene happened.
That's most of what I remember. Just
Yeah,
theater,
so he takes out the pumpkin bomb, looks at Aunt May, and throws it at him. Peter quickly went and grabbed it and is able to actually throw it away from May as it explodes. They're both injured. That's when all the cops are coming, more reporters are coming. Even Happy himself is rushing over there quick. Everything's all good, kind of bad. May and Peter are hurting. They go up to each other, they're talking to each other. Peter's apologizing. May is trying to calm him down before grabbing him by the face and saying, "With great power comes a lot of great responsibility."
No, it's with great power, there must also come
Also
great responsibility.
Yep.
And then the two
I
of
don't
them.
know where this is going.
I really didn't think they were gonna do it.
I know.
Really didn't think they were
So
gonna
they
do
start
It
taking
hurt.
May. So both Peter and May start walking before May says, "Like, I'm a little tired. I'm just gonna rest right here for a bit." And like Peter's like, "Okay, it's okay." And then after Peter lays her down, they both look at each other, but Peter's the one in shock while May is confused. Like, what? Peter lifts up his hand, sees red on his hand, and it's not from the costume.
No.
It was Aunt May's blood.
No.
Actually, when I first saw this, Liv actually saw I tensed up at this and just grabbed my hand. She saw the distress in my face. When I first saw this scene, I fucking broke. I was like,
I saw
oh
it with
my
my
fucking
family.
gosh, they
Dude.
did it.
I
So-
remember when I saw it with my family, I was just in shock. I was like,
Nick, how did you feel when you saw it?
Was just left speechless, utter speechless by the
No.
fight. And also, that comes in later when, like you said, all the reporters and all the police are surrounding Happy Hogan's apartment complex building. Happy finally gets there. The police order him out and get him arrested. They throw him on the car. And during that time, he's just screaming at Peter, "Run! Run!"
Shout out to
And then
Happy.
Peter's just still in shock about what just happened. Even the police fired a few shots at him, and he actually took a few bullets.
This
and then Peter finally got away.
This kid is resilient.
After that, that's when things went to hell. Spider-Man, aka Peter Parker, was now seen as public enemy #1 again with the
Also,
addition of
can I point something out of this?
what?
J. Jonah Jameson's an asshole.
I know, right?
Okay. I actually wanted to talk about J. Jonah Jameson for a second. We kind of typecast him as an asshole because he's just like, he just hates Spider-Man so much. But there is actually a reason why he hates Spider-Man, ranging beyond just because Spider-Man bad. It's because J. Jonah Jameson he's marched in like civil rights movements. He was in, I believe he was in a Black Lives Matter protest, like in the comics. He's actually like a pretty cool guy. Like I've seen people say like he'd be a great person to like come out to as like gay or trans or something. And the reason he hates Peter is because vigilantes are actually like kind of not cool in real life. Like
That's
they just
true.
run around murking people, whoever they want, with like seemingly no like established moral code. And
Looks
so
at Batman.
vigilantes-
Ah!
Yeah, exactly. And so vigilantes can kind of pose a problem, and that's why J. Jonah Jameson does not like Spider-Man, because he's just some vigilante swinging around, and Jameson's just like, this guy is actually kind of dangerous. So that's why J. Jonah Jameson.
That's
does not
okay.
like Spider-Man.
Wait,
That's
that's actually
fair,
another thing-
but in this particular scene, I
Yeah,
think
was
it went too
overkill.
far.
Wait,
Yeah,
hold up. So I gotta
too
say this.
soon.
So Liv saying how he knows that like Spider-Man is dangerous. You also gotta realize this. I'm gonna branch off really quick. I was talking to my friend TK about this. In the Superior Spider-Man comic books, in that one, Otto Octavius is able to take control of Peter Parker's body while Peter dies in Otto's body. Otto realizes exactly how strong Peter is when he manages to launch a jaw of somebody off of his mouth. When he realized how strong Peter really was, that just shows that Peter could have easily killed every single one of the villains he has ever fought before, but he chose not to because he holds back. He has no reason to kill them.
Also, in defense of J. Jonah Jameson, I would like to point out that in the movies, I can't remember which movie it was, but I think it was the first one. Goblin was trying to figure out how to get to Spider-Man, and he went for Peter Parker because he didn't know who Peter Parker was, obviously, at this point, obviously, but because Peter Parker was the one tasked with taking pictures of Spider-Man for the Daily Bugle, and Peter and Jameson are talking about this literally seconds before Goblin shows up. Like, Jameson is telling him, go out and get me pictures of Spider-Man. And then Goblin bursts in, he picks up Jameson and goes, who takes pictures of Spider-Man? And Jameson goes, I don't know, I get him through the mail. So he is literally covering for Peter despite having talked to him 2 seconds ago. So, like, he is protecting his employees to the death. Like, I respect that guy.
Okay, I respect that. It's just that
sort of,
this particular moment just rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah. So after this, obviously Peter's on the run. He's obviously he's secluded himself somewhere. MJ and Ned are at Ned's house. They're sitting there worried about Peter. They see the news. There's no contact for Peter at all, and they get worried. MJ is talking about wanting to press the box already, getting ready to do it. Ned's trying to convince her to wait, and then after that, that's when Ned goes, "I just wish we could see him."
I wish we could see him. He's wearing the sling
what did you just do?
Say that again. I wish we could see Peter. And then does it again, and we see in an alleyway, Spider-Man himself there. Okay, first off, Ned opened a portal.
That's awesome.
This man actually has magic. So we see Spider-Man. We see Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
If I may.
Yes. Wait, before you do it, we see Peter Parker there, and that's when they're like, Peter, come here, Peter. He's running over, and they're like, oh, laughing until the next second he comes out.
Hey. I'm a nice guy.
Throws a pillow at him and then unmasks himself. It's
Andrew Garfield!
Yes!
You can ask Liv, when I first saw this, I popped off!
Dude,
I freaked the hell out!
Dude, even before he took off his mask, the entire theater flipped the hell out when they saw him.
Dude, yeah.
Dude, I
It's
freaked
probably
out.
the suit they recognize him by.
No, I recognized the suit. I was like, no way. No, they didn't. Take off the mask. Oh my gosh!
My cousin saw it the night it premiered, and she said the theater went nuts.
Oh yeah.
And then after he shows his face, they're like, "Who are you?" I'm Peter. Oh wait, Adon, you gotta do it.
Yeah. I'm Peter
Who are you?
Parker.
No way.
And I'm not. Yes way.
No, he says I'm Spider-Man.
I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah. They end up having a talk about the dimensional stuff.
Interdimensional risks, matter misplacement. It's all true.
Yeah.
Yep.
I knew it.
They're all
Also, I
freaking.
would just like to point out how. Actually, continue. I'll go after.
They're all freaking out about this, and then they're like, Andrew's like, "Prove it. Prove it.
Prove what?
Prove that you're Spider-Man."
What do you want me to do? Why did you do that?
I was just checking to see if you had the tingle thing on.
Yes, I have the tingle thing.
Snap for Brit. I can see the pain in the Don's eyes when he had to say that. So, it's funny actually. So Don messed this up a little bit, but basically he says, "I don't carry an ID." It kind of ruins the whole point of being the anonymous and such.
This is like,
and then
well, maybe this will be enough.
Yeah. And then MJ, that was the best moment ever. And MJ looks like, crawl around.
What?
Crawl around.
I'm not gonna crawl around.
Do it.
This is plenty.
Yeah.
Nana wants to know if you can get the web of. Fine.
Thank you.
I love that Peter was protesting, like, why I gotta crawl across the ceiling? And then when Ned's mom asked if he could get the web, he's just like, okay.
Because he was polite.
He's polite.
After that, he comes down. Obviously, now they're reassured, and then that's when for now. And that's when they're talking. Peter is confused when he sees the portal's gone. And the next thing you know, that's when MJ's like, well, maybe we should just open another portal again so we find the real Peter.
show me Peter Parker.
What is he doing?
Nick,
And then
you gotta-
show me
Nick,
Peter.
you gotta take care of the scene, buddy.
Show me.
Oh no, all the lines.
So he's like, the first after that, after they say like, we need to find Peter Parker. That's when Spider-Man's like, ouch, no offense. They open, find Peter Parker, find Peter Parker. Portal opens behind them. Ned, they look behind them, and a man comes out without the mask.
Who is it? Who is it?
Oh great,
It's Tobey Maguire!
oh great, it's just some random guy.
Wait,
I
Nick,
forgot the lines. I don't remember
He's
the
like,
lines.
Alright,
He's like, hi. I'm sorry to barge in. I just came in and when this. Oh,
it's
it's
gone.
I'm
close.
Spider-Man.
You're Peter Parker.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I don't go advertising that. That tends to defeat the purpose.
That's just what I
of
said.
identity.
No, the best moment ever had to be where after when both Andrew and Toby saw each other and
Nick,
like, wait, that's
with
not you.
me.
Yeah, Nick said it.
Shooting
wait,
the
I
webs
don't know the line.
He says,
Shoot the
wait,
webs
he's not your friend.
He's not your friend.
He's not your
And then they
friend.
stare at each other for a couple seconds, and then.
Hold on!
Yeah. He fucked this up so much.
Donna
So-
wants to know if you can clean up the webs you just made. Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah. Oh sorry. Oh sorry. What was her name again?
Nah.
Yeah. Oh sorry. No, Lola.
Whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lola. We'll get right on it. And then I'm gonna go to bed.
I love her. She's like, I go to bed. And I'm just like, bye, Nana.
Anyways, Andrew and Toby actually start explaining why they're there. They're looking for Peter because apparently they're just like, okay, we've been looking for Peter for a while now because I think he needs our help.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of place that he goes, like somewhere he can hang out? For me, it was the top of the Chrysler Building.
Empire State.
Empire
Empire
State.
State.
Better view. That is a pretty sweet view. Wait,
They know
there's
where-
one place.
Then thus they all leave.
It's the roof of Midtown High.
And
One place where Peter was supposed to feel safe.
honestly, I love this fucking scene. I love this.
So-
And I'm not even talking about when Toby and Andrew actually talk to Peter. I'm talking about just MJ and Ned hugging him.
I know.
Honestly, that was so touching.
'Cause he just lost his Aunt May. It's so sad.
And
it's-
then
and-
Oh,
we
what
get the
did you just
legendary
do?
moment.
Yeah. Amazing moment.
Okay, Nick, you could talk about
was.
this scene.
Well, it was a really touching scene where both Toby and Andrew both came in and started explaining to Peter that they're actually here to help and they want to get through. And they were even talking about Uncle Ben, which is a very big, long callback. It's like, and I think that's when they revealed that Uncle Ben was the one where they said, with great power comes with great responsibility.
That's what Uncle Bess said the night he
Such an
died.
iconic
Also,
line.
if I can point this out real quick, we actually throughout all the interactions with these Peter Parkers, we actually see a little bit more into the universes after their movies have ended. From Andrew Garfield's side, we actually hear him say, "I stopped pulling my punches. I grew bitter."
Yeah.
This
When
this
he's, like,
could
harking
indicate
back
that
to when-
this could indicate that Andrew actually went as far as killing people.
Or at least got
Even
close.
Batman.
Very
Yeah, or like
freaking
Batman. Or like Batman, where he didn't kill people, but he certainly sent them to the hospital.
close. Exactly. And honestly, looking into that actually interests me because if we do get a relaunch of The Amazing Spider-Man, which I have heard rumors about,
Like,
if they
They're all
do
rumors.
decide if they do decide to relaunch that, I actually wanted to see what the hell happened.
I mean, like, my man was close to losing it at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2. He was just, like, so close to just snapping because
I mean-
he lost so much. So
I mean, hell, even in the movie, like, you could see how emotional he got, not just only talking about Uncle Ben and what he had to go through, but also when he lost Gwen.
Oh,
Me.
that hit hard.
Exactly.
and he
I
lost
remember
so
seeing
many-
that scene personally in theaters.
Yeah.
You can just
Oh, man.
see the distress on Andrew's face. You can see tears
Yeah.
welling up. It was
It's so-
heartbreaking.
it's-
His
so
voice
sad
was
because-
his voice was cracking.
Exactly. That
It's
just
so
proves
sad.
not only how good of an actor Andrew Garfield is, but also it proves that this Spider-Man has probably been through the most out of all three of them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like,
holy
he came-
fuck, bro.
He came so close to saving Gwen
Two
too.
two major deaths as the time
Her
he was
back-
Spider-Man. It was,
Her back like
It hurt.
recoiled off the ground.
oh, the
You
whiplash.
could hear the crack.
Oh yeah. When I heard the crack, I was like, ouch.
Yeah.
Like, I
That-
visibly like winced, like.
So after that, they end up coming up with a plan to still stop the villains, but still save them. So they go into the school's lab, and as they're talking, they're figuring out ways how to cure them. And Andrew Garfield Spider-Man grabs stuff, is like, "I'll come up with a cure for both Max Dillon and Dr. Connors."
I mean, I've already cured Connors once. I can cure him again.
They all look at him. Oh, it's
Hey.
completely fine. Yeah. So
I saw a TikTok where it was Andrew Garfield being the middle child of the movie.
I mean, he was.
He kind of is, yeah.
Also,
He
can I
is.
just point out that people asked Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield multiple times, "Are you gonna be in the new Spider-Man movie?" And they went, "No, we're not." And then they fucking were.
Dude,
Like,
Well, they couldn't
made us
spoil it.
believe. Dude, they made us believe so much though, because the way they always say it, where it's like, "No, we're not in the film," they made sure to make it seem so real that they weren't gonna be in it. That when we finally saw them in it,
They were
dude,
there.
Oh.
Marvel goes great lengths to keep spoilers from getting out. They go
Yeah.
great lengths.
I
Probably
mean-
after like one of the, I think it was that one of the scripts for a movie got leaked. I think it was Infinity War. Part of the script got leaked, and I
One-
think that was when they really like clamped down on.
Well, I mean, I will say this though: if you look at one of the trailers for the one of the trailers for No Way Home, there is kind of a bit of a spoiler that there was supposed to be them there, which I will explain when we get to that point. So they all start working together. They're all trying to figure this out. Quickly, MJ and Peter, Tom Holland, Peter. I'm gonna say Tom. We're gonna have to say Tom the actors'
Yeah.
names just in case. So Tom Holland and MJ, they're all talking to each other, having their sweet moment. When both Toby and Andrew have their moments, they all look at them. Toby's. Do you remember the lines, Nick?
No, I don't.
Damn
so the
it!
lines.
They
Regardless.
just talk about their respective girlfriends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that Toby actually mentioned that he worked it out with MJ, which is honestly heartwarming, and also it opens up another question I have. Does this mean they got married, and does Mayday Parker exist?
Also,
Do you know who
guys,
Mayday Parker is, guys?
No, who?
Peter's daughter, who became
Hey.
Spider-Girl in the
Wow.
comics.
Also, guys, for those of you watching, you know how they're all Spider-Man, like Adam is Andrew Garfield, Nate is Tom Holland, and Nick is Tobey Maguire. Well, they did that for me too, and I got Gwen Stacy. So I'm not even in this movie. I'm dead. I mean, they
Hey, but I
also-
mean, you got a special mention.
They also said I could be Tobey Maguire though. So
Well, I could see you as Toby Maguire and Bully Maguire.
I can see her as Bully Maguire, honestly. Liv, I
So-
love
Oh my
you, but you
God.
fit Bully
Wanna-
Maguire.
So
you
they
want to be saved? You want to be saved? Find religion.
so they end up having their interactions after the two Spider-Men talked. Ned, being the best, the iconic kid he is, comes in with the
love
biggest
that.
smile, looks at Toby, he's like, "So, do you have a best friend in your universe?"
I did once. He
Wait,
died in my arms. It was heartbreaking.
And you could hear Andrew in the background. Jeez, dude.
Because both of them had a Harry Osborn that kinda... Well,
Yeah.
actually, no.
And then
the
Tom-
reason Spider-Man's Harry
then Tom
Osborn
was like,
didn't die. I forgot
And then
about that.
Tom was like, "Hey Ned, can you give me this, please?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure thing." And Tom's just like,
Ned. What happened, dude?
Poor Ned. Also, can we just mention that Ned called out for Peter and all three of them just went,
Peter?
yeah?
Yeah.
Obviously referencing the meme. They
Wait, hold on, wait,
referenced a
wait.
Guys,
Wait,
I
Liv,
can do
Liv?
Ned.
Yeah, do Ned, we'll do Peter. Ready?
Peter?
Yes?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you mean this guy or that guy?
Peter Parker?
Same name.
Still the same guy. I mean,
By the computer.
Oh, right.
Oh.
That was the best scene.
That
ever, dude.
was hilarious. They referenced a meme and I love it.
They knew what we wanted. They knew what we wanted.
Now all we have to do is find out if Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, and Tobey Maguire actually took a picture on set going.
If they do, dude, that would be amazing.
They did.
So after that, they all
that'd be
figure
great.
out where the villains are. They find a way where to trap them, and that's when we see Tom loading up his web shooters, and Toby goes, "What is that? Oh, it's just a weapon for my web shooters. Why?"
Oh my gosh!
That came out of you. Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys can't do that. That's how you do it.
What?
Yeah, you guys can't do that?
No.
How does that even?
And then,
That's honestly a great callback because if you did watch the original Spider-Man movies, it did come out of his wrist. He didn't have web shooters. So
Yeah,
the fact
Tom
that we
Holland-
saw this was
Actually,
hilarious.
you know what's funny about Tobey Maguire?
What's that?
When I first saw him in the movie, instead of saying Spider-Man, I was like, Nick Carraway! Because he played Nick Carraway in the Great Gatsby movie.
yeah, right.
Right.
So they all.
Shows you
So
how
then.
much of a nerd I
So
am.
then they try to figure out how to like get everybody there while also getting the villains back, and that's when Ned's like, "Oh, I know what I can do. I can open portals now. I'm magic. Oh wow, that's so cool. Yeah, and I promise you, I will not use them for evil and turn into a bad guy to try and kill you."
Okay.
I love how like wholesome this whole movie was. Like it was just kind of wholesome. Like all three, like MJ and Ned and Peter, they had just such a wholesome friendship.
They really
like-
do.
Three
and-
amigos.
Yeah.
The amigos.
Yeah.
Well,
And then,
two
like,
amigos, one amiga.
What?
Two amigos. What do you mean? There's three of us.
One amiga.
Oh.
Three of you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But yeah, like, oh yeah.
This is
But
great.
I love how just like wholesome all these interactions in the movie were. It was very refreshing because usually in superhero movies, like even with the Avengers, like we had people who were like, "Stay out of my way." Well, stay out of my way.
Well, I mean-
instead they were like, "Whoa, that is so cool! How do you do that?"
Yeah, and
No,
I think what makes it work too is because they're having it when they're still kids, they're still teenagers. So it
Yeah.
makes it even better because then it makes you feel even worse because that's why like with that wholesome, they're still young, they still don't know how to go through this. I mean, hell, again, back to what Strange said, you're just a kid. Peter is experiencing Peter is experiencing his grown-up phase now because of
Yeah.
Aunt May's death.
It's really It's really like a theme that carries throughout the movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
kind of.
And then we
And
then we end up
come to the
final
honestly, Liv, do you want to explain the statue real quick? I know you want to express your.
Oh god. Okay. So, if you guys didn't notice, throughout the whole movie, there were these, besides the whole Peter Parker Spider-Man thing, there were these reports going on that the U.S., somebody in the U.S., I'm just going to say the government, that the U.S. government was thinking of putting Captain America's shield on the Statue of Liberty. And it was a whole debate going on. And there was like, in the background one time, there was like a poll going on about Americans, weighing in on whether they thought they should put Captain America's shield on the Statue of Liberty. I would have said no. But apparently, majority vote, people said yes. The majority result was yes. So, while all of this is happening, Peter calls up, this is a call to J. Jonah Jameson, and says to all the villains, got my phone, if you want to have a fight, come here and fight me. Where are you exactly? Statue of Liberty, the place that represents second chances, and it's the
Statue of Liberty.
With
Statue.
Captain America's shield over the torch. And Adam will confirm that in the theater, when I saw that, I was like, that's just tacky.
no, she's not
She's like,
wrong.
"That is
She
so
literally
tacky."
poked me. She literally just groaned right next to me. I was like, "What's wrong?" She said, "I don't like it. It's so tacky." I was like,
You know what? Pretty par of the course for America, I'd say. Because I was still just
"Oh,
like,
we're
"That is
getting
so
political
tacky."
here. Let's take a few steps back and go back to Marvel, shall we?"
So
Yeah.
after Peter makes his call, we then begin the next best interaction between the Spider-Man ever.
Dude, I loved this scene. Just
Freaking-
all three of them just hanging
You
out.
want Nate, you want to do this one?
Yes, I will. Max
Yo,
was
Nate,
such an-
Nate, I'm helping you with this.
All right, so do Andrew's part.
This is so great. I've always wanted brothers.
Aw.
Just like, hey, you good?
Wait.
Do you not remember?
Max
No,
was
I
such a
don't.
cool
Oh, this is
guy
not the part I
before.
was thinking about. This is not the part I was thinking about.
No, it was the first part where it was Max. You know what? Because Adon forgot. I'll do it. So it goes. He says, "Yes, Max was such a nice guy until he one day just ended up falling into a bat of electric eels."
I think that came after what I was talking about.
Yeah, you were talking about later on, where after that, where it's like, so you just create webs inside of your body.
No,
Regardless,
that's not the part.
this was one of the most wholesome interactions in the entire movie because we
Yeah.
actually got to
Am I
see
being-
all three Spider-Men just hanging out. They're not even. They have it all prepped out, and they're just they're just hanging out.
I don't feel comfortable talking about my webs.
No, we're not trying to make you feel bad. And then freaking
We're-
Tom Holland.
don't
Do
do
webs
it.
only
I
come
don't-
out of you? Freaking Tom Holland.
I don't
Yeah.
do it. I don't breathe. It just happens. Am I being bullied? I feel like I'm being bullied.
No.
No.
And then Tom Holland just freaking. So does webs come out of your wrists or other places?
Good night, everybody.
Think of
No,
that
just-
as
Beautiful.
you will.
just.
Okay,
this.
okay. I remember Tom Holland going like, "So what was the craziest villains you ever fought?" It seems like he met some of them.
And then Toby says, I fought a alien made out of black goo. Oh, I fought an alien too. Both here and in space. It was purple though.
I want to fight an alien.
I'm trying to wrap my head around that you fought an
Like-
alien in space.
You guys are lame compared to me.
No, he
I just
says
fought
I'm
a
lame
Russian
compared to you
guy in
guys.
a big rhino suit.
No. Go back to. You're not lame. You're not lame. You are
Yeah.
amazing. I loved that. I loved
I
that
know,
they
it's
were just, like reaffirming each other.
Yeah, just like take into consideration. You're amazing. Say it. Say amazing. You're amazing.
Amazing.
Let's all say it on 3. Let's all say it on 3, 2, 3. You're
Amazing.
amazing.
That's our greeting card at 3amigos.com if you would like to.
You're amazing.
3 amigos. When you're here, you're amazing.
Yeah, and then after
Exactly.
that, that's after that. Hey, you guys feel that?
Yep, they're coming, and then we get to the absolute best scene in the movie, hands down. 3 Spider-Men versus the Sinister 5.
The Sinister 4.
5.
It's at the 3.
There's 5.
The Sinister.
So, obviously there was a letdown with the Sinister Six, but again, I will explain there was actually a 6th Sinister member in there later on afterwards. I'll explain that in a bit. So they have their fight scene. They're all struggling, bro, because here's the thing. Aside
know
from
what we're
Tom
gonna do.
Holland's Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire never work together with other people.
They
they
never
never
worked
work
as a
by
team.
themselves.
That's the whole thing, which is hilarious.
then
Because
comes the
they're
best-
just whipping each other. They're
Yeah.
weblining each other. That was hilarious.
and then comes the best part where they're like, none of this works. I don't know how to work with it. Yeah, I'm more used to Birkin and same. Okay, I know how to work together, and I don't mean to brag, but I'm going to. I was in the Avengers.
You were in the
You're
Avengers?
the Avengers?
Oh,
Avengers?
Yeah.
Great. It's great.
Thank
Who are the
you.
Avengers?
What are the Avengers?
You guys don't,
We're the
you guys don't have the
Is that a band? Are you in a band?
The Avengers are Earth's finest. How is
This
this
is
happening?
holding!
And then that's when Tom is able to explain to them, like, we each go for them, like, just we use teamwork. And then that's when, like, okay, we'll take them all at once. Separate them all. Now you got it. All right, Peter 1, Peter 2,
Here too.
Peter,
Peter 3.
Peter 3!
All right,
Wait,
you guys ready?
wait! I love you guys.
Aww.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I love that. That was the best part. That was the best part.
You gotta love the confusion on both Toby and Tom Holland's face when he said that. It was just
I wish we had gotten more
Thanks.
interactions between the two of them.
yeah.
Honestly, this was actually a complaint from my brother. He felt that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield should have been in more of the movie, and honestly, I kind of agree.
Yeah, it seems like it a little bit, so that way we could have gotten more interactions, but I could understand why they would have him at the end. I mean, think about it. It's the climactic end to the movie. They had to make it perfect in order to end 2021. Seriously, this was like one of those movies you had to watch in order to end 2021 on a good note.
I mean, I saw The Matrix as well, so the new Matrix movie.
Yeah,
A lot of people called it shit.
Well, I actually saw the movie at the end of
I
the year,
happen to
and
love
Nick
it.
saw it at the beginning of the year. So he started. I ended 2021 strong. He started 2022 off strong.
Mm-hmm. So they all fight each other. They all end up going separate ways. They fight all their villains, and then Tobey Maguire is about to get drowned inside the Statue of Liberty's crown by Sandman when both Tom Holland and Andrew
Hilarious sentence.
Yeah, and when Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield managed to grab the machine they used for Sandman and threw it to him, Toby catches it, presses it, shine goes off. Toby's sitting there, catching his breath, taking his mask off. When he looks at Sandman, back as a human.
Yay.
It's just like it's
Beautiful.
okay, Flint. We're gonna get you home.
Just stay here. And dude, okay, did anyone else notice that was a reference to the third Spider-Man film when how he looked at his hands like,
Yep.
oh my god.
That was pretty crazy.
And then they continue the fight after that. They end up having their few struggles. They're struggling against Lizard and Electro. And I forgot what it was. I think it was Ned and MJ were trying to close the portal.
They were trying to close the portal. Lizard
And
climbed up there and went to attack them. That's actually a reference to the probably the best Stan Lee cameo ever.
Oh yeah.
Where they were fighting in the library.
And he was just in there just like,
Oh my god, that would deadass be me. Just like,
well, in the background just
yeah. And then I turn around too late and went, what the fuck happened?
fucking I just like how when they see lizards like there's a giant lizard, I'm trying to close the
Run!
It's the best scene ever.
That was awesome.
They all continue the fight, everything goes on. Soon enough, Tom Holland is able to stop, well, not really Tom yet. Actually, no, was it Tom?
Actually, Doc Ock came in right as the Spider-Man were about to go grab Electro. Doc Ock grabs them both, making it seem like he reverted back to his old self, reverted back to his more sinister side, if you will.
Electro's like, no, these are mine. And then next thing you know,
grabs the arc reactor and places it in charge.
I love that.
Charger.
Yeah.
I love that gambit
You want all the
when
power?
people do that.
There you go.
I love that gambit when people do that in the movies. You know, like when Indiana Jones did it or something, when they go, wait, he's mine. And then they look like they're going to kill him, and then, it's me, run.
Yeah.
You know? I love that. I love that bit. And actually, I really loved Dr. Octavius in this movie. I really, really loved him. And so when he didn't show up, I was like, wait, where did he go? Did he go back to evil? And then when he showed up, I was like, yay! No! Yay!
After that, Electro is saved. Dr. Connors is saved. We get some references from the original films. And then we had the best interactions ever between Doc Ock and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Electro and Andrew Garfield's first, the power of the sun.
I just love how Doc is just sitting there just going, how are you?
Like, he's so happy to see Peter. He likes Peter.
My dear boy. He called him my dear boy. And
My dear boy. You're all grown up. How are you?
Trying to do better.
And then the best interaction between Max Dillon and Peter Parker. Just freaking, listen, I gotta tell you something.
Yeah.
You're out there and you're wearing the masks, saving all these people, helping out the homeless and stuff. You're just a kid. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I really thought you were black. I thought you were gonna be black.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. And then this is where we get the best line ever. Where he's like, "It's fine. There's got to be a black Spider-Man out there somewhere."
Okay,
My
with
brother-
that line
Miles
right there,
Morales reference. Did you actually know that Miles is actually confirmed to be in the MCU?
Yep.
yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
because of Into the Spider-Verse.
Let Nick say this.
No. In Homecoming,
Yeah,
we
I was
actually see.
gonna say, I think it's because of
No, Homecoming.
No. In Homecoming, let me explain. In Homecoming, we actually see one of the villains. It's Aaron, who is Miles' uncle, and he's just
Prowler.
he's literally just like, look, man, I don't want those weapons around here. I got a nephew that live here. That's a Miles Morales. And then in the post-credit sequence, he's still webbed to his car, and he has his phone out, just like, yeah, sorry, Miles, I'm not gonna make it.
Aw.
Dude, that means this could be confirmed that we're gonna get Miles soon, and I'll explain why again that too. So after that, they all have their interactions. Around this time, by the way, Ned and MJ were trying to open a portal to escape. They do that, but they bring in someone else.
Strange.
And no, it's not a
Doctor
Miles
Strange.
Morales from another universe.
So
It's
Nick, you could say
Doctor
this next part.
Strange.
So basically, they bring back Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange is like, "Where is he?"
Wait, sir, I know you're
Batman,
upset,
like,
but Peter's plan is working.
I was over the Grand Canyon for 12 hours.
Also, when Doctor Strange looked at Ned, did you just open a portal yourself?
Yes, sir, I did.
Yeah.
Huh. I have a theory for that, bro.
Oh, hell.
So, Wong.
Uh-huh.
I have a feeling he's related to Ned.
I
I have a feeling. Now, here's the thing. Before any of y'all call me racist, before any of y'all in the comments call me racist, let me explain. Think about this for a second. When Wong explained the whole entire spell with forgetting everything, and then the fact that Ned said like my Lois says I'm filled with magic, and then he's able to open the portal. What if it's possible that Wong is related to Ned, and the reason why that Ned doesn't realize this is because Wong used that spell on Ned.
Okay, well, I love this theory. However, in the interest of debate, I do have a counterpoint that I just thought of. It's thought that in this universe, I was under the impression anyway that in this universe anybody could learn magic. So it was like that guy who was crippled that like Strange talked to in his movie before he went to Comertage. He said that when Western science failed, when he couldn't heal his body, he decided to heal his mind, and that's how he found the Ancient One, and he got his miracle and accepted his legs and how he could walk again. So I was under the impression that anybody could do magic.
That's true.
Maybe.
And it's not just a lineage thing.
Maybe.
So I thought it was just like once Ned had the sling ring and his like intent, because like I've been researching witchcraft lately. I've been on like a kick where I've been researching witchcraft. If you set, it doesn't really matter what materials you use. Kind of comes second to how strong your intentions are. So like when Ned said, "I just wish we could see him," he was really, really wanting to see Peter, and since he had the sling ring, he was able to do it.
That
That's what I thought.
That might also explain why he couldn't close the freaking portal when Lizard was coming his way.
Yeah, like he was just. Yeah, like he was like there was like a fear block or something.
Yeah.
He wasn't like.
So
thinking
Strange and this is the best moment ever. It's just fucking Strange comes up to Tom. He's like, "Oh, Strange. By the way, Peter Parker, both Spider Man." Then hi.
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 Yeah. So they say hi. They quickly have their moment. They get the box, and as they're getting ready to end it all, what do we hear?
Liv?
Can the Spider-Man come out to play?
The main freaking one himself comes out. Goblin coming out like a badass in the night. He comes in, swipes the box, flies off with it before. I don't remember who was the one that grabbed it, but one of the Spider-Man caught it.
That was Otto.
Yeah, Otto catches it. The Spider-Man hold him back. They give the box to Strange, and as Strange is getting ready to activate it, everyone's watching and anticipating, and then next thing you know,
There's a bomb.
with Strange, it explodes.
Shit.
Probably should.
Blows everything up. Everything's beginning to topple over. Ned nearly falls off.
The shield falls off. Thank
The
God.
shield falls off. And MJ
Oh,
begins to fall.
no.
Nick, if you want, you can say this part.
So basically, MJ starts to fall off, a la Gwen Stacy from the Spider-Man movie, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man movie, and then Andrew Garfield then goes down and actually saves her. Instead of actually using his web to save her, he actually catches her and then uses his web to slow their descent. And as soon as they get to the bottom, MJ looks at him all shocked, and then you see Andrew Garfield's face where he's starting to tear up a little bit
If I can.
about
Oh.
Sorry, but
yeah.
there's actually a whole thing about this. This means that Andrew has been thinking about Gwen Stacy's death for the past however years have gone by ever since before he was pulled into this universe. This practically means that this guilt has ridden him so much that he actually was thinking of other ways to save Gwen when she fell.
Yeah.
And that's why when he landed and he saw MJ was safe, that's why he started crying and tearing up.
I like to think that this kind of gave him some closure, like because he was so guilt-ridden after not being able to save Gwen. I think especially after he made that promise to her dad to like leave Gwen out of it.
Yeah.
Gwen out of his whole Spider-Man, and like he
Right.
didn't leave her out of it, and then she died. So he was probably feeling so guilty about it. So I like to think that this gave him some kind of closure, like catching MJ gave him some kind of closure.
Plus, this shows you just how strong of a relationship both Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy had. Like comparing them to like MJ and stuff. Like sure, Tom Holland, Spider-Man, and MJ, good relationship so far. Tobey Maguire's and MJ's complicated, but they're making it work. Andrew Garfield's and Gwen Stacy, bro, they were the perfect power couple.
Yeah.
They
It was
really
amazing.
were.
So of course this would hurt hits Peter Parker a lot when he lost him. So having to see that, like Liv said, this was closure to him.
Yeah, actually,
I think that was kind of a reference to them, like when, like, remember in Amazing Spider-Man 2 when they were talking about moving to London, and Peter's like, yeah, London's got a lot of crime, right? You know, and then they talked about, and then when MJ and Ned and Peter talked about going to MIT, Peter was like, yeah, Boston's got a lot of crime, right? Like, hey.
Oh man.
Actually, I do remember this in the theater, me and Nick. I actually debated that MJ was probably the best girlfriend out of all the, Michelle Jones was the best girlfriend out of all this movie Spider-Man. So he was just like, better than Gwen Stacy? I looked over him and just said, debatable.
My cousin actually said she doesn't like Mary Jane.
Bro, Mary Jane was she's a slut, bro.
Mary Jane in the original movie was not that
Whoa.
great.
Dude, do you know how many times? Hold up, do you not understand? This woman has been playing with Peter's heart the entire time, all because of his secret. Like she was blaming him for everything when it's not his fault. This girl has slept with so many men in the beginning, bro.
Okay, Nate.
I'm sorry.
You right there. I'm gonna stop you right there.
Okay.
Regret bringing it up. Let's move on.
Okay.
So,
Anyways,
Peter catches MJ.
yeah. So
and
Nick, continue from
we
there.
finally get the best scene in the movie. The face-off between Peter Parker, MCU Peter Parker, and Green Goblin. And there were no pulled punches.
From this, basically,
Sorry.
Tom Holland's Peter Parker just kept going to town and kept beating the ever-living crap out of Goblin. And Goblin is turned all masochist, like he's loving this. He's loving this side of Spider-Man. And it is crazy. And then basically once Peter webs him a little bit, gets him on the ground, we see Peter pick up the glider and he's about to stab Goblin. And then Tobey Maguire
glider.
Yeah.
That in itself was a powerful moment because you remember how close Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was to Norman before all this Green Goblin shit happened.
But at the same time, like Liv said though, that was a reference to Osborn's death too, because the glider was the death of him.
Yeah.
That's true.
I actually saw a TikTok about like the three Peters and what they represent like mentally, because like this woman was going through therapy like at the time that she saw No Way Home, And she said that the three Peters to her kind of represented stages of mental health. Like, so Tom Holland, he was younger, a kid. He was a kid, so like he was first starting to like go down like spiral, but he was still hopeful that he would come out the other side alive. Andrew Garfield represented someone who was like fully into it. Like he was just, yeah, it was a downward spiral. It was bad. Like, and like we said before, like he was losing it by the end of the second movie. And then Tobey Maguire was someone who was not fully healed, but healing, because he was the calmest one throughout the whole movie. Like he was always very calm. So like he realized like how bad it had gotten. He was going through therapy, and he was calmer because of it. So she said that like it was really poignant when Tobey Maguire was the one that stopped Tom Holland, because it was like his older stage of himself helping his younger self not make a bad decision.
This is like what Nick told me and Adon one time when we got in a call for the first time after so long of being apart from each other, where Nick's like, you guys are like the childs or like the crazies of the two, while I'm the voice of reason. This is why Nick is also Tobey Maguire, because like Liv said, he's the voice of reason. Nick, you're our voice of reason. I'm still growing because I'm the youngest between the two of you guys. And then Don, he's still kind of having those moments where he's going through it hard. And then I'm still going through this whole thing. Nick, you're the calm one. Like, you've experienced most of this, I'm pretty sure. And you're trying our best to help everybody. So, man,
I have too, honestly. This year was rough.
Yeah, my year's not starting off good either. But that's something I'm going to talk about next time. Anyways.
I mean, but I don't... Oh, I'm not going to say it in the recording. I'll tell you guys later because,
all right.
You know.
But before we go to the next part, first I gotta say, Nick, Adon, and Liv, I know I don't talk to you a lot, Liv, but you too. I love you guys all so much, and I'm very happy to have you all in my life.
Aww.
All
right. Before we get to this next, love you too. So before we get to this next part that happens after Toby stops Tom, I just gotta say, Goblin scared the crap out of me before they started fighting, because this is what he said to Tom before they started. He was like, "Poor Peter. Too weak to send me back home to die." And then Tom, "No, I just want to kill you myself." And then that smile in his voice, "Attaboy."
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's creepy. That shows Goblin knew how strong Peter really was.
Willem Dafoe played the fuck out of this.
This is why him destroying the mask was a good idea for the film, because all the facial expressions he did talking as Goblin, how his voice was from his presence to the vibe, it made him more compelling and horrifying as a villain than it did in the first film.
Yeah, and it kind of like blurred the line between Norman and
Goblin,
because it was like you were hearing like it's Norman, but it's not Norman.
Yeah.
And it kind of like, I thought it made it cooler for me, because like it kind of gives you a bit of pause, but that's Norman, Peter.
Who's the one talking?
The mask, you would have been like, yeah. And if he was wearing the mask, you would have been like, yeah, kill him.
Yeah.
But, like,
so like
that's how. But like they made it so that you know this is not a good decision that Peter's gonna make.
So that's why too. Like when you watch the first film before you see this one, it's like you see it's like, okay, so this is how he was, and then when you see him in this one, it's like, oh my god. All right, Nick.
It was pretty scary.
Yeah, Nick. What happens after Toby stops Tom?
After Toby stops Tom, they put down the glider. They share a little moment, and then Goblin activates the glider.
No, he activated the blade in his arm.
No, it wasn't the glider. It was his wrist.
Oh, it was his wrist blade. He stabs Tobey Maguire, and it's like, ooh.
Hold on. I'll throw it to you.
Wait, ready? Well, they killed Toby! I'm just kidding. They didn't kill Toby. So after that...
God, they killed Toby!
Yeah.
You bastards!
So after he stabbed Toby, Toby's laying down on the ground in pain. Goblin... throw it. Stabs him with the injection. And Goblin is looking up at him.
Shit.
Yeah. Goblin looks up at him. After the injection is sent in, takes it off. Goblin looks at him and goes, "Peter?"
Oh
Osborn.
shit, guys, I stopped the recording.
No!
But the fuck,
I'm
dude?
stopping
It's not.
recording.
No. Start the recording again. Start the recording again. We'll just edit it
Start
in.
the recording again.
Yeah, start the recording again. We're editing.
I'm just kidding. I didn't hit it.
Oh, thank God, bro. So
You
we see
son of a
Norman is
bitch.
back, and then we get the saddest thing ever. He's looking around confused, sees Toby on the ground in pain, bleeding, comes to a realization, looks up at Peter in horror, and goes, "What have I done?"
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
When you
I
know
can,
he-
I
another
can definitely
thing,
see
too.
why you say Willem DeFranco is a great actor, Liv, because I felt the pain on his face.
Yeah. Adon, I mean Nick.
Did you say William DeFranco?
No, this motherfucker says William DeFranco.
I'll go.
It's William Defoe.
I'll go
It's
hang
Willem
myself now. I'll go
Dafoe.
behind my green screen so you guys don't have to see my dead body.
Adam, come back. Come back.
All right, while Adon is behind the green screen, Nick.
So basically, Andrew Garfield's. Everybody goes to Andrew Garfield
too
and he's
young
like, "Oh
for
my
you to
God,
die."
you've been stabbed," and he's like, "Nah, I've been stabbed before."
Oh, good.
I love this. It has the same energy as. Don't worry, I was only lightly stabbed. I'm sorry. You
Tis
were
but a
stabbed
flesh wound.
horribly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then comes the best
So
line
from
ever.
there-
Comes the best line
What is
ever. Toby's looking up at the sky. They see all the cracks. Is that really
Yeah,
happening, or am I dying? No, it's really
Yeah,
happening.
It's
during
really
this
happening.
Whole thing, the multiverse broke open. So, and Strange has been occupied at the top of the torch, which is the thing that should be at the top of the Statue of Liberty,
She's not gonna let that
trying
go.
to steal.
Yeah, she's not gonna let that go.
I am never gonna let it go. I hated that so much.
If you love me, let me go.
Fuck no, I don't love it, so I don't have to let it go.
Let it go.
Stop! Don't get us copyrighted.
We're gonna get copyrighted by freaking the
Stop
company.
getting
and
us
Disney.
copyrighted, Bolteg.
Dude. Okay, so anyway, multiverse. It's broken. So Strange is at the top of the torch trying to fix it. Trying to fix it all.
Strange, what's happening?
They're getting through, and I can't stop them.
And in the multiverse cracks, you can see silhouettes forming of other people because the spell was supposed to erase the memory of everyone who knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man.
Instead, it was
Which
going to pull them
includes
in from every
everybody
multiverse.
in the multiverse. So you start to see silhouettes of other people who know Peter Parker, like a rhinoceros kind of figure.
We also see other silhouettes that could be shaped as the Scorpion, Kraven the Hunter, and even Black Cat.
Felicia Hardy.
Oh yeah, I think I should point this out. Nate has a big boner for Black Cat.
It's fun fact. Actually, in the beginning, I actually had no care for Black Cat until recently. I don't want to talk about it.
Really?
I don't want to talk about it.
Really, he does have a thing for Felicia. I didn't notice. I didn't notice.
Anyways, continue.
So, because the spell was pulling everyone in, Strange has to now cast another spell. Well, Peter gives him the idea of casting another spell, but instead of making it so that everyone who knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man forgets he's Spider-Man, everyone just forgets Peter Parker entirely. Because if it didn't work before, it wasn't going to work this time.
Yeah,
So he
that
suggests
was probably the saddest part of the movie.
Everybody forgets about Peter Parker. And Strange says a line that I really love. He says that the people that love you, we won't know you exist.
They didn't. He never said they. He said we, meaning this guy. Sure, for a short amount of time he's known Peter, actually has to care for him.
He cares about him. And Peter, it's a theme we've seen recurring throughout the movie. It's his mess. He has to fix it. And this is how he's going to fix it. So he accepts that.
And this leads to another heartstring pulling scene where he says his goodbyes to MJ and Ned.
And also has a quick spider hug. Sorry, I wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
That was a great
Actually,
fucking hug.
a line I really that really pulled in my heart was in the first spell, Strange went, "See you around, Spider-Man." You know, like kind of joyfully, like, "Hey, another day, another dollar. Bye, Spider-Man." But
And now,
this time he said, "See you around, kid."
thank you,
Calling
sir.
him kid.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then he said, thank you, sir. Call me Steven.
Steven.
Thank you, Steven.
Still
Yeah,
feels weird.
still feels weird. All right, hold up. You guys continue this. I'll be right back.
All right, so Peter actually jumps down. First, he goes over to the Spider-Man and holds one more wholesome interaction with them, which I think is warranted because these three are just adorable together, and I love it. They're like brothers. They're like
Yeah.
me, Nick, and Voltag. It's great.
I actually saw a fan art. I saw fan art one time where it was Doctor Strange with like Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield, but as little kids. And it was like Strange was their babysitter. And he put them all in.
That's great. But I actually, honestly, I want to see fan art of that hug because I think people can pull off some really beautiful fan art with that hug. Because that was, to me at least, that was powerful. Because just like three
It was
generations
pretty
of
powerful.
Spider-Man coming together and just accepting that they are never going to be forgotten. Because they are Spider-Man.
Yeah, they are.
And
These movies are just so, like, they've held up for like 20 years. At least Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies, they've held up for 20 years to the point where everybody went insane when they saw Dr. Octavius in the trailer. Like, they've held up so well.
they really are.
They have.
Yes.
I think it's really like the heart in the movies that makes them hold up so well because there's a lot of heart in the movies. Because, you know, it's just.
It's because
Peter
it's made
Parker,
by the
just-
fans. That's what I've noticed
It
about
is
these movies.
truly
They're
made
made
by
by
the fans.
actual fans of the properties.
Yeah, they're not.
And I
just,
think
like,
that's the best
cash
move
grabs.
possible because you know that these people are going to do the best fucking work they can to bring these characters to life. And
I mean,
love
even
it.
Tom Holland himself, Tom Holland, he was so devastated when he found out that Sony and Marvel were no longer in cahoots with each other. And because of this, he tried to petition a way to get back Spider-Man because he really loved what they were doing. And he didn't want that to go because he didn't want to not only let down the fans, but he didn't want to lose that opportunity because this was something he genuinely loved doing. Not because of the money, not because of the fame, but because he loved it.
Yeah, like I think I heard Andrew Garfield was really excited to play Spider-Man as well because he loved Spider-Man. And I mean, you know, what kid at some point doesn't dress up as Spider-Man for Halloween? I mean, Nick was just telling us. Nick?
Yeah, a while
just
back I
saying
was Spider-Man for Halloween.
I actually never dressed up as Spider-Man, but now I kind of regret it.
Yeah,
I think I
like,
dressed up as
what
him
kid-
once.
But like, what kid out there, like, when they think about what they want to do dress up for Halloween, it just always crosses their mind. I want to be Spider-Man. No,
'Cause Spider-Man-
Even I at some
Spider-
point wanted, and even I at some point thought it would be cool to dress up as Spider-Man.
Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. You all can hate me in the comments. I don't care. Spider-Man is the best Marvel character. Period.
Agreed.
He's just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
I'll agree
He's-
to that too.
He's not
Wait,
a
don't agree to
multi-millionaire.
it. Drink with me.
He's not a multi-millionaire scientist. He's not a soldier with enhanced strength and stuff. He's not a scientist who becomes a big-ass green monster. He's not a god. He's just a kid who gained a special gift and is using it to protect his city, his family, and his friends.
He's just a dude.
And now we come to the absolute most heartbreaking scene in the movie, saying goodbye to MJ and Ned. This fucking hurt. You thought Aunt May dying was bad? How about your best friend and your girlfriend forgetting you entirely? Can you imagine that happening to you? I surely can't.
I mean, it is
I
scary to
can't
say
imagine
it.
it.
And then they're saying to Peter, or asking Peter, "You're gonna come back and get us, right? And tell us all this all over again." And Peter's like, "Yeah, I will do this. I promised you guys, I'll do it." And then, when the spell is finally complete, just like Thanos,
Yeah.
it happens.
Honestly, I think that's why they titled the movie No Way Home. Because for Peter, like, he couldn't go home. Because home didn't remember who he was. He lost Aunt May, Happy and Ned and MJ don't remember him. Nobody remembers him. And he can't go home. So that's why the movie, I think that's why the movie is called No Way Home.
Honestly, yes. It also
And
makes
if
me
I
wonder
may
how.
finish-
It also makes me wonder how many titles they're going to put in with "home" in the title.
Yeah.
And if I may finish up the movie.
Yep.
So we fast forward a little while later to a winter month, and we see Peter Parker walking around with a piece of paper reciting some lines, possibly to jog MJ and Ned's memory. He finds the coffee shop where they're at, walks in, and just stands there. Ned comes in a little bit later, and MJ and Ned start talking to each other. And all Peter can do was just order a coffee. And he couldn't just find himself a way to actually say if MJ and Ned could remember him.
Just couldn't bring
And it was
himself
like-
to do it.
No, he couldn't. And after that, they said they said goodbye like a normal human interaction, like they never even met or they just met. And we see what happens later. We see Peter get an apartment, move in
Is
with a
Volt
bunch of
okay?
his old stuff.
Is Volt okay?
Sorry,
The
sorry,
screen
it's
goes
'cause-
dark for me.
Yeah, no, sorry. It's because apparently my internet decided to play jerk with me, and I ended up like leaving the call
I'm sorry,
because as we were
continue.
talking. Yeah, sorry.
But from there, you see a few things that Peter has. He has a few school books. Like he has a book for a GED test. He still has the Lego Palpatine minifigure from when he built the Death
Aw.
Star with Ned.
I loved that.
And
bit.
then-
he still has the coffee cup from the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then later, we see towards the finale of the film, he actually makes a brand new Spider-Man costume that's almost comic book like accurate a little bit. And I think he threw in a little bit of spandex to the mix
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it did.
for his costume.
Mm.
And then we see in the cold winter months of New York, we see Spider-Man in the moonlight swinging away.
Yeah. And then the movie ends.
So now
Which
I get
then
to
leads.
What a roller coaster!
Which then leads to the post-credits scene. Nate, take it away.
Okay, this is where I need to be serious here. So,
Think.
if for most of you guys who
I
actually
know what's
don't,
up with Volt.
so for most of you guys who really don't know this, obviously, we are all fans here of the Spider-Man universe, and as Spider-Man
Think I
fans out there,
should take over
Mhm.
for him? Because I think I figured it out.
I mean, no, I'll go explain to you, but let me explain.
Is Volt,
So,
Volt, you good?
yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear
Liv,
you.
can you?
I can't
Liv,
hear
can-
him.
Oh, Liv can't
Huh.
hear Nate.
Nate,
Okay,
Nate,
but
Nate,
continue with
Nate, Nate, OBS is still picking up your voice. So don't.
Hold up,
too
hold up.
much. Or just leave. That's fine too.
Liv, can you hear me now?
Could have. I'm sorry I brought it up. He could have just talked as if I wasn't saying.
No, I was just making sure.
Sorry, guys.
Anyways, so for those of you guys who don't know, as any Spider-Man fan out there would know, we know all the villains out there. There's one specific villain we know in the Spider-Man universe who becomes an anti-hero, and that's known as Venom.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing some technical difficulties.
Wait.
So
wait,
as-
this
as-
shit is backwards. Fuck.
So as a Don, which we had the Spider-Man films. We had obviously, and then we had one villain appear in Spider-Man 3, which was Venom, and it was a crappy Venom.
Complications of filming a podcast, I guess.
Fast forward a few years later, and we get our first ever solo Venom
While we're
film.
waiting, Adam, can you tell the audience what may come next for a future podcast?
I was
Wait,
Liv, we're not
Liv,
even close to
Liv.
finished. Nate's talking about the post-credit sequence.
Right. Because I can't hear him. I'm so sorry.
s-
Okay, Liv, I'll tell you when it's all done. Okay.
Okay.
Nate, continue, please.
Sorry, Nate.
It's alright.
Right.
It's alright. So obviously we had our first ever solo Venom film. No Spider-Man existed in that one, not at all. So everyone's beg the question, will Venom ever go into the MCU? Will we ever see Venom meet Spider-Man? And obviously everyone was saying no because Sony and Marvel do have some beef with each other. That is until you see Venom Let There Be Carnage. At the end of the film, we have a post-credit scene. Both Venom and Eddie are in a hotel room watching some weird novella shit. You know, they're just talking. And when Venom was about to explain the many secrets of the symbiotes to Eddie, something begins to happen. The world starts shaking. The light changes. Suddenly, everything around Eddie changes, and he sees he's in a better hotel in what looks to be some sort of beach place. We don't know where, but he's there. Venom reacts to a freaking towel and goes, "What the hell is that?" Oh, it's just a towel. And as they're freaking out, trying to figure out what's going on, and this just in, the secret identity of Spider-Man is none other than Peter Parker. Venom comes out. They are in Spider-Man's universe. This guy, Venom, was the sixth Sinister Six member. The only reason why he didn't appear, though, was because apparently they didn't have an idea for him. Apparently he was supposed to come out in the climactic end, but they didn't have.
Apparently, the reason of why they didn't put Venom in the final battle was because they already had 8 characters to work with. They had all 3 Spider-Man and the 5 villains of the movie. Adding in a 6th would make the scene feel a little muddled. Also, with Venom coming out of nowhere, it would be awesome, sure, but it also would make very little sense.
Yeah, in my experience, when you're writing a scene with that many characters, it tends to get very confusing.
It can, yes, if you don't word it correctly.
So after that, we end up getting. So we see that everyone's been waiting to see if Venom will appear, or even if we'll get a hint to Venom versus Spider-Man. We didn't get any of that. Post-credit scene comes. We see Eddie is still at that place. He's talking to a bartender. The bartender explains everything to Eddie about how, like how everyone disappeared because of a blip, how he lost his family and such, how Thanos happened, how the Avengers happened, everything. And Eddie's not believing a damn thing about it.
And you said Lisa Protector was a shitty name!
Yeah. So because of this, they're trying to figure this out, and Eddie's like, maybe we should go to New York and talk to this Peter Parker. And Venom takes his clothes off. We're at the truck and we are leaving. The second they take a step to leave, they start glowing. But we just barely got here. No! And they disappear. After that, everything's gone. Zooms into the countertop. And what do we see?
Just a little symbiote
of Venom left behind.
So this actually opens up a world of possibilities because now the symbiote has been introduced into the MCU, and I actually have a theory of my own about this. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling that symbiote is going to attach to Peter. Mm-hmm. Afterwards,
are we gonna get another bully Peter?
Peter and MJ could have a little scene, and maybe that symbiote will link onto her just for a short while to revitalize her memory. Making her remember Peter Parker.
I love the way you think, Adam. That's
amazing. Speaking of this,
I try my absolute best, and that is confirmed as that's how symbiotes work. Anyways.
Speaking of this, Adon, Nick.
Another bully Peter?
It would be cool. Speaking of this, Nick, Adon,
Are we gonna get another, like, Saturday Night Fever walk down the sidewalk?
Maybe. Anyways, Nate wants to say something to Liv.
So, guys, I need you to tell Liv this. I just realized this too, and there's a reason why I'm saying. I know.
I don't know what's going on.
Tell her. I'm gonna tell.
He's gonna tell you. Just give us a second.
So, if you guys know this, obviously the Sinister Six. I said Venom is the 6th Sinister Six member. Here's the reason why. Here's the reason why.
Yeah, I knew that he was.
Because
that.
Think about this for a second. Everybody who came knew Peter Parker as Spider-Man, but this Venom never had a Peter Parker. So how exactly did he come to the universe without knowing Peter? Okay. Simple. He has the memory from the Venom from the Sam Raimi trilogy.
Actually, I can explain that, Bolt. Anyways, Liv, he's basically explaining he's basically asking how does this version of Venom from Sony know Peter Parker is Spider-Man? Well, actually, there is a comic book fact of how Venom would know. And that's because the symbiotes actually share a hive mind. So that means essentially the Sam Raimi's Venom could be linked to the Sony Venom through this little process of the hive mind. And even if you try to argue that it could be different universes, technically just one little crack is enough to send a little bit of information to that Venom.
Yeah. I was gonna say the crack in the multiverse would have linked all of the hive minds from every universe together, and
Even at least for a second.
Yeah, even if just for a second.
So after that, we end up getting that. So we do get the hints of the Venom. Now that we got to the end of the movie, and obviously, okay, by the way, the last post-credit scene was obviously a trailer to Doctor Strange's new movie. Really quickly, we are going to end it there for that movie, and it's now talk about a certain theory that we got, that being involving a few things. For instance, what is the future going to be like for Toby and Andrew? And is this by chance linked to Across the Spider-Verse?
Basically, Liv, what he's saying is, could the future of the MCU hold anything for Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield? And is this going to somehow tie in to Across the Spider-Verse, the brand new movie animated by Sony that is going to hit theaters very soon?
Oh, shit.
I might point out that it's a two-parter, so there's also that.
Nice.
Yes.
Regardless, I think that that's entirely possible because A, it's Sony. B, they see the hype around this movie. Also, I'll say it now. No Way Home is better than Into the Spider-Verse. Don't at me.
A whole lot of people are gonna get pissed.
I don't fucking care.
Hey, I'm ready for the people on Twitter to try and cancel Adon.
Regardless, this could open a whole world of possibilities. Maybe we'll get Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield to voice other Spider-Men in this new movie. Or we can actually just have them be there and have them animated into the movie. That would be awesome.
So cool.
I would love to see everyone together.
Nick?
I think there's a ton of possibility for Into the Spider-Verse as well, or Across the Spider-Verse. I really do see a lot of potential for it, because with the original Into the Spider-Verse, they automatically revealed that there was a multiverse with a ton of different Spider-Men in there. What I want to see personally, I want to see live-action versions of some of the Spider-Men that were introduced in Into the Spider-Verse. No, I'm not saying I want a live-action Spider-Pig. But I would be down for maybe a TV series or some sort of live-action representation of, like, maybe Spider-Gwen, maybe...
I just got an idea.
What?
If we do live action, and even if it's just for a quick scene, you gotta bring back Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. You have to.
Yes.
You have
Speaking
to.
of that, people have been petitioning ever since No Way Home. People have been petitioning for Sony to try and make The Amazing Spider-Man 3 with having, of course, Venom be a part of it, since it seems like we can get that since Sony owns Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Sony owns Venom. So it could be a possibility we could get that
Actually, Sony
crossover.
owns all three of these movies.
No, they don't. Well,
Right.
kind of, but it's mostly Andrew Garfield though.
Basically, Liv, he's saying could it be possible that the Amazing
Let me-
Spider-Man trilogy could be revitalized and have Andrew Garfield fight Venom?
I've heard
There's also
people
another thing.
asking for that.
One more thing.
There's also another thing. There's also one more thing. With the crack in the multiverse, sure, no one's gonna remember Peter Parker anymore and such. But remember, the universe was cracked. There could be a possibility that there was some sort of mishap that happened in each of the Spider-Man's universe. So what if it's possible that when Andrew Garfield goes back to his universe, Gwen is there, but it's not his Gwen. It's Spider-Gwen.
That would be awesome. Basically, what he's saying, Liv, if there's a possibility of this spell actually working, what if it crossed universes and Gwen Stacy actually returns in Andrew Garfield's universe, but it's not his Gwen, it's Spider-Gwen?
Oh, shit.
That would be amazing.
I'm so sorry. This is impeded by my laptop being stupid. I wish
Actually, Liv, I have a suggestion. Leave the call and then come back in.
Yeah.
Okay, I will be right back. I'll be right
So-
back, ladies and gentlemen.
So with that though, it's like it's the whole idea though. Like, will it happen?
I think it's
Can
definitely
you hear me?
possible.
Hell happened, but I can't hear you.
Moment.
You still can't hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. So no, yeah.
I
Discord
can
likes
hear
to mess up sometimes.
I don't know
But
what.
so yeah, so
And
yeah.
Nick is loading.
So also the reason why I'm saying there has to be some sort of link with Across the Spider-Verse 2, if there's two reasons, which also gives hint to Miles a little bit too. One, does anyone notice that when Peter Parker is swinging at the end of the movie, he's at a specific snowy area that looks somewhat familiar to when Miles met Peter B. Parker in Into the Spider-Verse?
Well, I thought that I heard it might have been Adam that told me this, or it might have been Anthony, might have been my brother. But since Miles is is technically part of the MCU, we were saying I think it was my brother. He was saying that Tom Holland's Peter Parker is essentially the Peter Parker, the Peter Parker that Miles
Teaches
Morales
Miles.
takes up the mantle for.
Yeah.
No, that he takes up the mantle for.
So it's
Yeah.
possible that you're saying that it's possible that the MCU
except
Peter
that-
could.
Wait, Aunt May is dead though.
Maybe it is possible that. Well, I mean, here's the thing.
Wait a
This
minute,
could be no. Wait, live. It still is possible that this could be Miles. Because remember, though, there is alternate universes where Peter Parker is still alive, though, with Miles. I mean, look at the PS4 game series right now. That's an alternate universe.
Fair
So,
enough.
but here's also the thing. Another reason why I believe this might be some sort of hint to Across the Spider-Verse 2. Did anyone else notice when he got close to the screen before it went black, his mask went from the CGI normal we're used to the Into the Spider-Verse animation style for a quick second?
Wait,
Oh,
what are you
shit.
talking about?
Remember how in the end of the movie we see Spider-Man like do a flip before he comes close to the camera? His mask and face are right at the
He's
camera
funny.
before going black?
Yeah.
If you look closely to that moment, you could see for a split second that his mask goes from the CGI that they're already using for his costume to the Into the Spider-Verse Peter Parker Spider-Man suit color animated style. Here's what's funny. I don't pay attention to a lot of things, but I was so focused on this movie that the second I saw that quick moment happen, I was like, wait a minute. Excuse me?
Wow.
So there is and so there's a possibility that this could be linked to Across the Spider-Verse in some way. This might also explain why is it that also Miles was able to not only travel to the other dimensions again, but also with Gwen coming back as well. Because I don't know how it's possible for Gwen to come back.
Maybe she
So this
maybe she found an interdimensional portal lying around. I have no idea.
Yeah, so there is a
Okay,
possibility
well-
with this.
Oh wait, but then it wouldn't be able to be that MCU Peter is the one that dies in the beginning of Into the Spider-Verse because Aunt May is still alive in that movie.
Yeah, but again, this is an alternate universe, like I said. So this could be an
Right.
alternate universe
Alternate
where
Peter
it's the same
Parker.
thing.
Right.
Plus,
right.
so it could be an alternate universe where Spider-Man is obviously still alive, but he's taking care of Miles. Since I got my theories out the way, Nick, Liv, Adon, you guys got anything?
I just got one little thing.
Oh,
Oh, I'll let Liv ladies first. Oh, sorry. I'll let you go first, Liv.
Okay. The only theory I had was one that I've already mentioned, where Clint mentions that somebody bought Stark Tower. So I already mentioned that, but my only theory going forward is that Harry Osborn or or Norman Osborn, I'm not sure, because he was looking for a son. He wasn't exactly looking for other versions of himself.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe the MCU's version of Norman Osborn bought Stark Tower and is using it to create Oscorp. It's really interesting because I saw the Morbius trailer. You remember, Adam? We saw the Morbius trailer.
That's
in
true.
The theaters,
We did
and
see
they
it.
had a split-second frame where they showed Oscorp.
Yeah,
So
when me and Nick were in the theater, we actually saw a breakdown of that trailer, and we saw 3 unique things. We saw Oscorp, as you said, from
Can I
Andrew
find them?
Garfield's universe. We saw the Vulture from
Yep.
Tom Holland's universe, and we saw...
Can I say the last
the
one? Can I say the
Daily-
last one? Can I say the last one? Can I say the last one? Oh no, what were you gonna say?
Go ahead.
So, I don't know if I'm gonna say the right thing he's saying, but if you pay attention to the trailer as well, in the Morbius trailer, there's a scene where you see Morbius himself walking down the street, and on the wall you see a spray-painted picture
That's
of
not what I was
Spider-Man.
referring to.
I know, but let me finish. So, but it's not Tom Holland's Spider-Man. It's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man suit.
Oh shit.
I was gonna say for the
Nice.
split second there was a place where you saw the Daily Bugle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A paper from the Daily Bugle. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. But yeah, the only theory I have going forward is that Stark Tower becomes Oscorp.
Okay, Nick?
Well, I don't have anything else to say other than we better start wrapping this up because we almost just set a new record for our podcast. Because right now I'm looking at
Yeah,
the
like-
timer of our call. We've been going for
It's been
2
like 2
hours and
hours.
45 minutes.
Oh, shit!
It's been 2 hours.
Oh, damn! We're fitting the movie right.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So any theory so for the theories I have, the only theory I have so far is that I think that symbiote's gonna latch itself to Peter. It's gonna latch for MJ for a quick moment so she can remember him. And then we might get an MCU Venom.
Who knows? We
maybe.
might even get Agent Venom.
Ooh,
That would
Agent
be cool.
Venom. That would be
Ned?
nice.
With Ned?
Hobgoblin.
Oh shit.
That's actually that's actually why I like the
That's
hood
the-
on Green Goblin's design later in the movie, because just like it references Hobgoblin. That's a
Did you
pretty
know
good.
Mark?
Yeah.
That's a pretty
Did you
good
know
time.
Mark Hamill? Did you know Mark Hamill voiced Hobgoblin?
I'm not
In one of the
surprised.
Spider-Man
No.
shows, Mark Hamill voices Hobgoblin.
I'm not surprised. not the
Wow, that's
slightest.
sick.
Yeah. I
The
know.
voice of the Joker was Goblin.
The legend himself.
Are you really that surprised though? It's Mark Hamill.
No.
The man's amazing.
Mark Hamill is-
Alright,
Mark Hamill's.
I think we got everything down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically everything. The only thing I will say though, if you're going to go watch this movie again, I would say pay very close attention because they fit over 70 Easter eggs in this damn thing.
This is
And I
definitely one
am
of-
impressed.
This is definitely one of those movies where every time you go to see it, you always spot something new. This is
Exactly.
definitely one of those movies.
Hence
Another
the reason
thing
why
I will
I'm
also-
waiting for a Spider-Man triple set to come out, so that way I could get Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home all in one set.
Also,
Yeah.
if you want,
So,
go check out some stuff from the other some of the other movies that the actors have done. Tom Holland will be in Uncharted, the movie adaptation of the video game series. Andrew Garfield is in Tick Tick Boom, that is on Netflix. He wears
I thought you thought I reacted
Okay, Nate,
shallowly.
okay.
And then Tobey Maguire, of course, is in the movie adaptation of The Great Gatsby, directed by Baz Luhrmann, and also starring Leonardo DiCaprio as the man himself, Jay Gatsby. He's very good in that movie. They've all got other movies to go check out.
Another thing I would also suggest to all you guys out there, stay clear from if you by chance are someone out there who either got to the end by accident or something. I just want to say, do not watch this movie. If you watch this movie already, do not spoil it for anybody who wants to go see this movie.
No,
because
this
believe me
needs
when
to
I
be
say this,
experienced with a blank
Yes.
mind.
this is one of the even the actors themselves went out as far as to say, please don't spoil the movie because everyone wants to have a good experience.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Also spoiling it, you're just being a dick.
yeah.
Don't be a
Pretty
dick.
much.
Yeah. All right, I think we got everything done. Thank you guys so much for coming back with us for our podcast. It's been a while since we've done one, and I'm actually really glad that this is the first podcast of the year.
And plus,
Yeah.
we even got
One
a
of our
special guest this
longest,
time.
too.
This is brand new shit right here. So
Yeah.
if you guys want
I
to
just
see any
wanna
more
say-
special guests, please just reach out to us. We'll probably
just
try to work
wanna
something
say-
out.
I
Liv?
just want to say, this has been an incredible experience. It has been just so great to just geek out about this amazing movie with you guys. And for anybody watching, if you want to have me back, let them know, because I will gladly come
Oh,
back and talk
oh,
about more.
I will definitely
Uh,
set that up. This is all.
We
because
will
this was
too.
a lot of fun.
This was.
Yeah.
So with that, we thank you all so much for checking us all out. We really appreciate it. Please go check out Nick in wherever the hell he exists.
Reddit.
Check out Reddit. Go check out Nick on Reddit. Go check out Liv on, I'm just going to say TikTok for now. Go check out Adon on both YouTube and Twitch as Marauder Runner. And of course, go check out my channel as well, Voltake77. I'm on TikTok and YouTube. Again, thank you.
I am Miss Livy. I am Miss Livy on TikTok.
She's Miss Livy on TikTok. And Nick, what's your Reddit name?
I think it's. Wait 1 second. I gotta
You
pull
don't
my
know
profile.
off the top
Don't
of your
keep it
head?
up on the.
Ah!
All right, got it. It's Wesson19.
Weston 19.
All right.
So make sure to check us all out. So again, thank you guys so much for an amazing podcast. Thank you for joining us for this. If you guys by any chance have anything you want us to talk about, leave a comment down below. Maybe we'll talk about something new.
Hell yeah!
Forget to
If you
like
guys
and
want to come,
subscribe.
if you guys want to come check out my channel on Twitch, Murado_runner. I'm going to come back to streaming very soon. I plan to go all out this year. So if you ever want to drop by, I'd be more than welcome to have you in the Purple Familia. Anyways, with
And who
all
knows? Maybe
that,
we might pop up.
with all that out of the way, do we have all our outros done? I think we do.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We do.
So, it is time for us to log off. Again, like Nate said, thank you so much for watching. We hope to see you guys next time. God bless. Let's keep on running, amigos, and we love you.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Adios, paisanos.
Bye, everybody.